Broadcasting from their world headquarters in Texas, it's the Arcade Repair Tips Live Show. The show that discusses arcade repair, restoration, news, and more. Now, here are your hosts, Tim and Jonathan.
Hello everyone and welcome to episode 109 of the Arcade Repair Tips Live Show for March 2026. My name is Jonathan Leung. I'm the producer, director, and editor here at the Arcade Repair Tips video series. And joining me today as always is Mr. Arcade Repair Tips himself, Tim Peterson. Tim, how you doing?
I am doing good. We just jumped right, we did the typical Texas. We went from winter one day to just summer.
Yep.
Spring, never mind.
There is no spring.
We didn't need a spring. It was so hot today. I was like, I'm sweating. Why am I sweating so hard in early March? But I'm doing okay. I missed the AI band a little bit. We might have to bring them back every once in a while.
Absolutely. We haven't done the AI intros in a while, but I like going classic. We were kind of doing those leading up. I felt like to episode 100.
Right.
Now we're solidly in the hundreds, Tim. So we no longer have to count down to anything, right? But we may go back with the AI at some point.
Right.
So.
We're almost a year past the 100.
Absolutely. So look at that. Time is flying, guys, and so is this show. Golly, 109 episodes, and 2026, Tim, just feels like the future anytime I say it. So. There we go, guys. So we hope that you guys are doing wonderful tonight. We do want to remind you that you can interact with us during the show by leaving your comments, your questions, other things in the live chat. And Tim, we already have some people over there this evening. We got Jumpin' General is here, Tim. Misfit Chris Rules is here, and he says, good to see you guys. Good to see you, too. And hopefully the rest of you guys will chime in if you're here. We will need some input later on in the show, Tim. A little teaser for one of the things that we're going to do. So we do hope that you can join us in the live chat and give that input back to us here.
Is this similar to something we did last March?
It is.
Okay, well, we'll just throw that out there. If you've been around that long, maybe you'll join in kind of like last March.
Absolutely. So, Tim, how are you doing? Obviously, it's hot. I say hot. I mean, hot relatively.
Right.
Compared to, like, Texas summer, it's pretty cool. But you're right that we did just kind of hop right into, like, spring and just...
One day we were having an ice storm. The next day we were sweating. And, I was ready to get the pool, go jump in the pool somewhere.
Now, you haven't been around here so much because you've been traveling.
No,
correct?
I was up in Fayetteville, Arkansas last week. And then next week, starting Saturday, and I'll put this out there, I have to fly into Hartford, Connecticut. I'll be staying there for a week and working, but kind of a unique situation. I leave on Saturday because I have some work that has to be done that Saturday, but then Sunday I don't have any work, so I'm off Sunday. So Sunday will be a great day if you guys are in the area, or if I'll do a little research. What I was kind of thinking of doing is that's my one day. One, I need some rest because I have been working a lot of hours. But two is, what could I see or do there? Maybe find an arcade or something to go to. But it's only 55 miles down. It's in the center of the state down to the ocean. So last time I was there, I was in New Haven and that area, and it was beautiful. I may just drive down to the ocean and eat some good seafood and look at the seashore and all that stuff. So next week, all in Hartford, Connecticut. If you're in that area and would like to connect, please let me know.
Yeah, and you guys can get in touch with Tim by emailing him at tim@arcaderepairtips.com, or you can email the regular line at questions@arcaderepairtips.com. Either way, those will get to Tim. So if you want to get in touch with him, again, tim@arcaderepairtips.com or questions@arcaderepairtips.com. Both of them, questions goes to both of us, but the Tim one just goes to Tim. So if you'd like to get in touch with him, that's a good way to do it. So we hope you have a good trip.
Thank you.
Now, just a couple days ago, though, you celebrated something that you celebrate every March, speaking of which. So Tim had a birthday on the 2nd. What? And so how was your birthday, Tim?
It was good. And I thought of, as you get older, birthdays seem to, I don't know, unless it's a milestone birthday, like your 50th or your 16th or your 25th.
21st.
30th was a big deal, maybe 40. So, it's more, it's a birthday. I normally don't take off work or anything. I just work. But this year was different. I don't know why. I was coming off that trip. I took off because my birthday was Monday. So I wanted 2 days off. So I came in late Saturday. I was off Sunday and Monday. I was off on my birthday and just spent the day with my wife and just kind of hung out with her. But golly, talk about tech. My phone was just all day long. Text messages, Facebook posts, and stuff like that. And it kind of brought me back to something. I'll tell a story right now. I didn't want to necessarily save for the after show. But let me just tell you a brief story.
Sure.
So about my 16th birthday, back in the days, a long time ago, we didn't have internet.
Nope.
Nobody knew it was your birthday.
That's right.
You'd go to school and maybe the teacher would say, today's Jonathan's birthday or whatever. But most of the time, unless they were your close friend, nobody had a clue when your birthday was. Now we got Facebook, and thank God for Facebook. I wouldn't know probably when some of my best friends' birthdays are.
That's true.
But I can't remember it all. But what they would do is they do a radio. You could do a shout out on the radio, and today they would sing a little song and say, "Today's your birthday," or something, and they would say, "We want to wish happy whatever birthday." And if it was a milestone birthday, they kind of stressed it a little bit more. So my 16th birthday, I'm on my way to school, and they said, "We want to wish Tim Peterson, who's 16 years old today, from some of your friends and stuff." And I was like, "Cool." All day long at school, we all listened to one radio station back then.
Yep.
And so everybody was like in the halls, "Hey, happy birthday. Hey, happy birthday." So normally nobody would know it was your birthday except your mama and maybe your best friends. And that whole day, everybody was like, "Hey, I heard on the radio it was your birthday." Good. And that's kind of how I felt this year. It was like I kind of took back to that 16-year-old me where every time I turned around, my phone was getting a text message or a Facebook post or some way or another. So sincerely, everybody out, so many people, I couldn't thank them all. If I thanked them individually, it'd be my birthday again next year. So, and I don't care who you are, something about it just was different. I don't know. I just, my granddaughter called me, and she's 1 year old now. She's trying to talk. And my daughter would say something, and she would kind of mimic it like a parrot. You probably remember these days. She said, "Happy birthday, Pop," and she said, "La la 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 la, Pop." Yeah. And so, I'm like, "Hey, I got a happy birthday." So, just to say thank you sincerely. I'm not one of those kind of guys that pushes or I want to have a party or whatever. But just the fact that so many people took time to say that happy birthday made an old man feel like a young man again. So. Thank you, everybody out there, and thank you, Jonathan, and all my friends that did that.
And we do have a gift.
Yes,
I saved the gift for the live show. You knew it was coming, but there you go. And if you watched last month, you may recognize what it is because we discussed it a little bit. So, Tim, over here, we have Mystic Chris is asking a question here. Let's go ahead and get to this. Any words of advice on installing new T-molding? Never have done it before. So, any words of advice?
The first thing that you want to do is when you get rid of the old T-molding, is get that channel really good and clear. Sometimes pieces of plastic will break down in there. I usually take a screwdriver and just a hammer and just kind of go around here, and get the channel clear and ready. To me, that makes a huge difference, okay? Now, don't be too rough with it, because if it gets too wide, that makes it not go in very good. Fortunately for him, we did shoot a video on this.
We did.
That will give even more tips. But just a quick tip is to make sure the channel's clear and just take your time. It's we definitely show in that video. There are some tips and tricks that you will see in there.
Well, I was going to say, I don't know if there's a specific video, but we do discuss it in the cocktail cabinet videos.
Yes.
We do have to put the T-molding on the cabinet when we do that.
We talk a lot about it.
We talk a lot about it in those videos. And they are chaptered for the T-molding section. So if you watch either one of the cocktail kit videos for hollandcomputer/retroarcade.us and then jump to the T-molding sections, we talk a lot about how to install the T-molding.
Now, one big tip that I would like to use, don't use like super glue or anything like that. If you're really having a hard time getting it to go in the groove, maybe it's kind of wallowed out or it's just worn or whatever reason. I've seen brand new cabinets that just sometimes wouldn't go. My tip is to use hot glue. Hot glue, put that in there. It'll make it stick and stay, but it's not going to keep you from being able to take it off sometime if you need to in the future.
Now, we've also used, let's say, also friction tape, right?
Yeah, friction tape works really good. I'm surprised we didn't shoot a video on that or talk about it.
Neither one of those. We've talked about it before, but we've never shot a video.
Friction tape is something that it's like threaded. It looks like tape that has threads in it. I don't know else how to say it. It's called friction tape. You can put that in the cracks here and stuff, and then when you put in that T-molding, if it's really loose, it makes it really snug. And also use a rubber hammer. Don't use a metal hammer that could actually dent it.
But he was saying hot glue sounds like a good idea. I would only say use the friction tape or the hot glue if the T-molding doesn't want to stay in.
There's just
if it stays in by itself, then
don't worry about it. Yeah.
So.
You don't want to use anything if you don't have to. I just know that sometimes coming around a corner. Also, what I've done before is kind of make a 90-degree cut. That helps it to bend in really hard places. But watch our video.
Like in these corners right here.
In those corners. So what you do is you just, on the back side, you cut a little piece of that off to where it's really just flat right there. And then you use a little bit of hot glue on the back and it'll stick right there. And that'll help you around those corners. But just go slow. Take a few inches at a time. I use that rubber hammer, so I always start in the very back. And I just come forward and then go around each corner. Just keep tapping. It actually helps to have two people sometimes.
Yep.
Even though it definitely can be done with one person. But if you got somebody that can keep your T-molding straight and stuff, it tries to twist and stuff on you. But maybe those will help you a little bit. If you have any other questions, please ask.
Sounds good. And Tim, of course, we have a lot of questions that people have already sent in for this month, too, that we'll be getting to in just a second. I feel like there was one more thing I was going to ask you, and I can't remember what it is at the moment. Oh, well, we already got to the birthday.
Yeah.
Okay. We got to our tease for what we're doing later. I think that's everything, huh? Okay.
Yeah.
And we got the live chat up. So just like I said again, just like Misfit Chris just did, or Misfit Chris rules. Misfit Chris rules.
Okay.
Sorry, it's a tiny font over here, guys.
Yeah, it is.
But just like him, if you guys
it.
want to chime in with any questions or anything as we go, you're more than welcome to. Now, this first is not really a question, it's kind of an update. So in the last episode, Jumpingeneral sent us, or he talked about his Contra.
Right.
And how he was having some issues with the edge connector, Tim. Do you remember this? Well, he was kind enough to go ahead and send us a picture of that and an email as well. So we'll go ahead and put that up here and discuss it real quick. So John, a.k.a. Jumpingeneral, writes, here's a photo of the edge connector on my Contra. You can see here the frame of the connector has been pried on and damaged around the pins. I'm going to replace and make everything new. I feel better buying a new connector and crimping my own pins. The arrow in the photo shows the plastic spacer is cracked and loose. It may fall out, which would make the ground pins possibly take care. So Tim, you can actually see, this is a great picture here of how that little spacer in between the two pins there,
kind of broken.
It's kind of broken. So there is a chance that those could possibly touch and maybe cause a short if you're not careful. Of course, I believe those are both ground, which would be
okay.
But if you had that same kind of issue though in another pin slot, then that could really lead to some issues, especially if it was like a +5 voltage plus a ground, something like that. We could get some shorting. So again, I think replacing the edge connector here is probably the best. And it sounds like that's what he's going to do. He's just going to get new pins, crimp on new pins, and then insert them into a new connector. Now, Tim, is that what you would do, or would you go with
sure? That's what I would do.
Okay, or would you go with the already the harness that already has the pins inserted and just solder onto the back?
No, I would do exactly what he's doing.
So
I would
you'd repin everything?
Repin everything. I mean, if it's a game you're going to keep, that's what I would do.
Okay. Sounds good. Any other advice here for Jumpingeneral on this changeover here of his edge connector, Tim?
I would just like to know how it turned out. How if he's pretty pleased with it. I know he's in the chat room. So how did it turn out? And it seems harder than it is. It's really not a hard job, and I like it better to do it myself and know that I crimped all those pins correctly.
Sounds good. So, Jumpingeneral, hopefully you'll be able to get all that done. If you need any help during the edge connector swap, let us know. But thanks for sending that picture. I think it really gives a good idea.
Good picture,
yeah, I was about to say, it gives a really good idea of what you're talking about in the live chat for episode 108. So, again, and again, there may be people out there that are in the same boat, Tim, with their edge connectors where they've got this kind of plastic damage or pins that are busted or whatever. And so if you're in that boat, this is what you can do. You can just pop out all the pins, repin all of the wires, and then put them back into a new connector, and then it's just like new, right?
Exactly.
Sounds good. So keep us updated, Jumpingeneral. We want to see the work afterwards for two. Send us a picture once you're done. I'm sure it'll look beautiful. So going back over to the live chat, Tim, we have, let's see, is that Messiah's Live Official says, what's up, guys?
Hello.
We've got, let's see, Arcade Survival says, what's up from Indiana?
Oh, okay.
So there you go. Going down, I'm just trying to look at everything. Okay, we got one from PWC here, Tim. Says, hello, guys. I bought a non-working Galaga, put in an arcade shop power supply kit, and only have marquee and coin door lights. What's my next step to try to get a monitor or even have the game play blind? Okay, so we've got a Galaga here, Tim. He put in the arcade shop power supply kit,
Okay.
which converts it over to a switching power supply from like the standard power supply that's usually in the Galaga. But he's not really getting anything except for coin door lights and marquee lights. So he's wondering what's his next
We
step.
would assume that his power supply now is not the problem.
Right.
Because he's got a brand new one. Make sure you hooked it up right. Make sure the voltages and everything are dialed in and correct.
And we should say you need to check those voltages at the edge connector.
Yeah.
For sure, just to make sure. So take the edge connector off the board and then measure the voltage there just to make sure we're getting good voltage.
Right.
So, but he doesn't, he says...
he's not playing blind. He wants to get it to that point at least.
Right, he's saying it's not playing blind at this point, and he says, should I get another monitor or should I try to get the game playing blind? You really should get the game playing blind, right?
Exactly, because if it's not playing blind, then it probably might not be your monitor. It sounds like you got a board issue at this point.
Yes.
And so you would need to get your board repaired. But there's no way, unless you got somebody you can swap or check it, with another machine with the similar pinouts and stuff. But you probably got a board issue. But check your voltages, like Jonathan said, either at the board or at the connector to make sure you're getting power through there. If you're getting power to it, but it's not playing blind, then you'll know, and you're nothing wrong with your speakers, that kind of stuff, then you'll know that it probably is a board issue, and we got to get it fixed. For then we can go on and see what the monitor needs.
And make sure that when you're trying to test the playing blind that you are coining up the game. So you should hear that when you coin up Galaga, it makes a very distinct sound, like that, and then when you hit start, da 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 da, the same kind of thing. So make sure that when you're coining up, that you're not hearing anything. And again, voltage is important. So even a brand new power supply, a lot of times does not come dialed in out of the box, right, Tim?
Right.
So you need to make sure that your power supply is dialed in. Make sure you are getting a solid 5 volts, a solid 12 volts, and make sure that you're getting that at the board level. So whether you check it at the edge connector or, like Tim said, at the board level, you need to check it somewhere there to make sure it is correct, because there could be something on the board that's dragging down the voltage as well. And so we do want to ensure that we're getting good voltage there. Now, if you're getting good voltage and you're still not getting that coin up, you're still not getting any of that, at that point, you may have a board issue, like Tim's saying, and you could ship the board off to somebody just to get them to check it, or you could buy like a 60-in-1 with like a Galaga adapter just to see if you could get power that way too. Maybe worth a shot if you just want to give it a try without having to. Obviously, buying another Galaga board would be expensive, Tim, as we know. But if you get a 60-in-1 with an adapter, that's not going to run you very much, and it may be a good way to test your board or test your cabinet is working before
your monitor.
Right, exactly. And on your monitor, if you have another arcade game, Tim, we've talked about this a lot. You can always put them back to back and then just hook up like the game board from a working game up to that monitor just to see if you're getting picture. Or a test pattern generator is very handy. So if you have something like that, Tim, in one of the questions tonight, we're going to talk about a test pattern generator.
Okay.
So you get a TPG. Basically, that's a device that you can hook up to a computer or to an arcade monitor, and it'll just display basically test patterns on the screen. So you may want to get something like that, invest in that if you want to do more troubleshooting. It may be worth it. Or like we said, just put 2 cabinets back to back, and then just hook up the game board from the one cabinet to the other, turn them both on, and see if we got working monitor. Net glow is always good to look at. Tim, if you're not getting any kind of net glow or anything, if you don't hear the monitor coming on, usually you get that nice little staticky sound whenever a CRT comes on, so make sure you're getting that as well. You can measure voltages on the monitor chassis as well, just to see if you're getting voltage there. That's always a good thing to do. So, there's a couple of things you can do to continue troubleshooting this, but really playing blind should be probably your top priority more than anything. So,
I agree.
Anything else, Tim?
I don't think so.
Sounds good. So there you go. It says it's not playing blind at this moment. Speakers crackle. He's saying speakers crackle. Yes, I'm coining up and pressing start. Yes. And the 60-in-1 is just an idea. He said it's a good idea. Yeah, if you just want to get like a Galaga adapter with a 60-in-1 board just to see if it's working, you can do that. Test pattern generators are really great.
If nothing else, then you could play Galaga until you get your board repaired.
That's right. So 60-in-1, you can
set an adapter. You need the adapter.
Right. 60-in-1 does not emulate Galaga perfectly for
good,
sure.
Yeah.
But it's good enough. And so with the adapter, you could always just set the 60-in-1 to play the one Galaga game. And then you kind of have a workaround until you can get your board repaired. But again, that assumes that your monitor is working, which we don't know for sure. Check at least the voltage going to your monitor to make sure that's correct. If nothing else, check the voltage getting to your monitor. And there are some other test points that you can test as well on the monitor itself. What's that little ceramic guy that's on the side of like a G07, Tim? What do they call that thing? The little what I'm talking about.
Oh, like the sandbox capacitor.
Yeah, something like that.
resistor.
Yeah, exactly.
Sorry.
You need to test though. Like you can test voltage in some of those areas and see. Of course, you can test your B plus as well. May need to dial that in. So I mean, just if you need monitor troubleshooting, we just need to know what monitor you have. And so if your monitor is not coming on at all, you can identify that monitor and let us know. We can help you out with that. Just email us questions at arcaderepairtips.com. So he says, thanks guys, right? But it's a good stopgap. Yes, I was planning to get the big kit. You could do the big kit too. Big kit's a good way to go as well. So. Let's see. Misfit Chris says, thanks, guys, for the team molding advice.
Okay,
So
you're welcome.
And then Nate Berg says, the 61 board, you can't get Galaga as the only game to play. It's bugged. Just that one game. I tried. Okay, well, there you go. I don't know. There's different versions of the 61 board, too. So I don't know if that's everyone or not. I've never tried to play just Galaga on a 61 board, but, you may want to play something else anyway. So there you go. Okay, Tim, let us move to actual questions for this month. I think we're caught up on the live chat. So here we go, Tim, with our first question from Tom. So, Tom, there's a question from Tim. Not to be confused with Tom.
Okay.
Yeah, here we go, guys. Hey, guys, I have a Games Family board. I tried to turn it on, but there was nothing happening. No fan, no screen, no sound. I found out that the power supply might be broken and that I could probably use an old PC's power supply. I found one. Can you tell me if it's okay to use the other one even when the voltage is slightly different compared to the old one? I swapped it and still no success. Thanks so much for the help, guys. Wish you all the best. Greetings, Tom. Now, he sent these two images, which may be hard to see on the screen here. But basically, if you look at the original and the replacement, Tim,
really close,
they're just standard ATX PC power supplies. Now, the thing you have to remember about the Games Family board, Tim, is that these are PC-based boards. So they're basically computers. And they use ATX-style power supplies just like a computer would. And so as far as the replacement goes here, that should be fine using the one that he has for the replacement in place of the original, especially if the plug is the same. With that said, Tom is here too, Tim. We got Tom here.
Okay. Good.
Okay. So with that said, though, the problem here is that we don't have any fan, screen, or sound.
Nothing's kicking it on.
Right. So I'm thinking maybe we're having some AC voltage issues. What do you think about that, Tim?
Well, it could be AC voltage. Also, it could be that, how does that PC start up? Like, is there a push button?
Yeah.
Because a lot of games were made to automatically start.
Right.
And sometimes you have to jumper the pin wires that would normally do that, or rig up a start button.
Right.
And I don't know that his in particular, but it looks like the power supply he has should work, but it's not kicking on. We're not getting on. So part of that problem, we used to run into this in Chuck E. Cheese all the time, was, at home when I turned on my PC, I hit a button.
Right.
And then you didn't want to go every morning and turn on every PC, so they were automatically come on.
Yes.
But what would happen is eventually the board memory battery would die, and it would lose all of that information. So we would have to kind of jump start it, and I can't remember the pins we used to hit. But we'd take a screwdriver and jump start it, get it up, go back into the BIOS, change the battery, and that would work. He could be having this kind of issue. Or it just could be that he has an AC problem getting to there, or you're getting 120. I had a game one time, I couldn't figure out anything, and just randomly went and checked my wall socket, wasn't any good. So that happens. So you want to make sure that you're getting AC voltage to it, but I would be concerned, how does the game normally work? Check its manual. Not real familiar with this game. But I know
it's a multi-game board.
Yeah, a lot of those were set to automatically come on. And when the batteries would die, or had been in storage, or whatever, or set in your garage forever, then it lost all those settings, and it didn't know to come on, and there was no PC button to push it on. So let me know. Maybe I can help you a little bit more from there. How does it come on? Do you have a button on your PC like a normal PC would stand up?
And he's here, so maybe he can say. He said he replaced the battery, but here's the thing: replacing the battery is not enough. You also sometimes have to get into the BIOS itself, so you have to jumper the computer to bring it on, and then set the BIOS to do the auto start. Now, Tim, what we started doing is actually splicing a physical push button into the wires of the ATX power supply, so that you could just push it if you had the problem. We did this on a lot of MAME cabinets that we built, Tim, and the reason why is because just in case that CMOS battery died, we didn't want to have to do the jumpering.
Right.
And so just because you replace the battery, though, doesn't mean it's going to come back up. Because when the battery dies, that means you lost the auto startup setting in the BIOS that told it to do that. And so now it will not auto start, and that could be the problem. So, Tim, I'm going to go ahead and put this up here for Tom. And Tom, if you have any other issue or any other comments that you want to get.
Yeah, and if you Google how to jumpstart a PC that has a bad button or no button, no start button, you'll probably figure out which pins.
I put a link down below.
Okay, good.
On which one's to jumper as well. So
thank you.
Yeah, here we go. So these family game boards are PC-based arcade boards like we were talking about, Tim, and it does look like the power supply you found should serve as a suitable replacement. With that said, the way you said you're getting nothing makes us think you may not be getting any AC voltage to the power supply or perhaps even the entire cabinet. Check to make sure the AC voltage coming into your cabinet is correct and that it's getting to the power supply. So this power supply should have a standard plug that goes into it.
Right.
Unplug that plug from the power supply and check that you're getting either 120 here in the US, 220 if you're over in Europe, that you're getting the right voltage there to the power supply. Okay, if you're not getting voltage to the power supply won't come on. Now, again, the second point, if that checks out, you can try jumpering the ATX style power supply to come on without hooking it to the board. This will at least let you know that the power supply is working. And Tim, I got the instructions down below. Awesome. And so once we do that, a lot of times what we will do is we will jumper it from the backside. So once the power supply comes on and it's working, we'll plug it back in, then we'll take a paper clip and we'll jumper the power on pin to the ground pin just long enough for it to come on. Because if you hold it, Tim, sometimes it'll go off by itself. You have to be careful.
And then you got to have a keyboard hooked up and hurry up and
hit F1, F2, or whatever it is.
Yeah, or something to get into the BIOS.
Correct.
And then you can change it to automatically come on upon power up or whatever.
Right. Or you can do it like we did and just install a push button. So splice into a ground wire and the power switch button on the ATX style power supply from the back end. And then just do a push button there to where it makes the connection for you all of a sudden. And then that way you won't have to necessarily worry about it. You can easily turn it on if it goes off, but it's still good to set the BIOS as well.
I hope all that makes sense. If not, please ask any more questions.
Yeah, because this happens a lot, like you said, Tim, on PC-based games.
I'm glad you have it in the notes. That's good.
Exactly. On PC-based games where the BIOS battery will die, the manufacturer set it to auto come on, and then once that BIOS battery dies, boom, CMOS battery dies, boom, we lose that power on setting. And so definitely a common issue. So try that first, Tom. Let us know how it goes, and if you need any more assistance past that point, we can help you out further. Just let us know what you find out from there. So. Tim, anything else?
No, I don't think so.
Good. So just keep us updated, Tom. Glad you're here in the live chat.
A real worst case scenario, you could put it in an empty shell that has a power on button.
Yeah.
But that's a lot of work.
It'd be easier to splice into the wires.
I think so.
By far. Yeah. I mean, you don't, and that motherboard, a lot of times those are not made to go into a case.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So wire in your push button. He said push button's going to be the first thing you try. Yes. Now, sometimes on a PC motherboard, you do have like a pass-through power button switch pin that you can use, but a lot of times on these you don't have that because they're not made to go into a case. That's for motherboards that are made to go into an actual physical case, and so you may just have to, like we were saying, jumper it from the backside with a paper clip or something like that, just to give it enough of a little jumper. And it's only a button switch to a ground. It's not an actual voltage pin, so it's not going to bite you when you make that connection with the paper clip, but it will make that connection long enough for you to get the PC on, and that's what matters. So, okay. Anything else?
Right. Same thing with your power supply. Some of them are made to kick on.
Yep.
You have to jumper the wires going into the power supply on the other way to make it kick on. They just don't have a push button. They won't turn on.
Absolutely.
They're made to turn on when power hits them.
Yep.
You might have to jumper yours.
Absolutely. So there you go. Let's see what we got here. I'm going back to the live chat here for a second. Okay, what are you guys? This is from Misfit Chris Rules. What do you guys experience? What's your experience with the Mortal Kombat 2 JAMA boards? I have heard the voltage is very finicky. I have a Mortal Kombat 2 board and the red light comes on. Yes, voltage is very finicky. Not only that, the ribbon cables are very finicky between like the soundboard and things. So that's really like it's a game you really have to dial in that power supply on. If you're not getting anything, like you're getting red light, I think the manual says what some of the lights indicate. And so you do want to make sure though that you are, I don't know, I think a solid red light is
solid
good.
red, or if it's a bleep beeping red or so many seconds in between.
The manual has a lot of those error codes in there, so if you're interested in that, I would look up the manual for Mortal Kombat 2 and see. I think if it's a solid, though, usually it's good, or maybe blinking is good, Tim. I can't remember these things. But you can look those codes up and see what they are. But, Tim, if I ever have any problems, like if I have problems with sound, for instance, a lot of times it is the BIOS battery, which is the same kind of thing we were talking about before. We've had that before on some of those. For some reason, that affects it. And so make sure that you have that set. Make sure that that's good in your cabinet if you're having like weird sound issue things. And then if you are getting like a blink or an error code, check the manual. I think it does have some good stuff with that. So Joe Holt says, I need glasses. Somebody was talking about a bit kit, and I read Limp Bizkit. So there you go. Do you need to be careful for sure? A little bit different, Tim.
Right.
One's a band from the 90s with Fred Durst, and the other one is an actual arcade board. So there you go. Okay. And yeah, Misfit Chris, we just got to that too. So I think we're caught up, Tim. Yeah, and if we skip your question or something, a lot of times it's just because we haven't gotten back to it. So, just post it again. Let us know. That's a great way to do it too. So, okay, Tim, let's go to our next question from Hayden. And Hayden writes, I have a Pac-Man with a Wells Garner K4600 chassis. I installed a cap kit and can't for the life of me figure out how to adjust or how to get it adjusted properly. Can you help? So, Tim, we have a K4600. Now, the Wells Garner K4600 is well known for its card system. Okay, so it has 2 cards that make it easier to work on, very easy to replace those cards, Tim. But as you know, Tim, anytime we do cap kits or things, a lot of times we do have to do additional adjustments in order to get them working again. But he's having a hard time trying. I guess he says, I assume that maybe he's having some sort of like hold or sync or something for him to say he can't get it adjusted. And so with that in mind, Tim, what advice would you give to Hayden here on this K4600?
I guess my first question would be, was this did you have a problem before you started this?
Absolutely.
Like, was this what you were trying to fix?
Yes.
Or was it just kind of some colors wash and stuff, so you thought you'd do a cap kit, and now you can't get it adjusted? Well, if you can't get it adjusted now, then I would recheck my job, make sure that I didn't get something backwards or something off. If it was kind of the problem to begin with, then there's some other things that we'll talk about, that it could just be a sync wires aren't hooked up right. Maybe it's, we had a different monitor in there at some time.
And we should say this, the K4600 sync is tricky.
Yes.
And we're going to talk about that here in a second, Tim. But anyway, continue.
So you just want to make sure that it's hooked up correctly. And a lot of it is just fiddling with even when, I'll give you a great example. Paul, I didn't have time. I've been out of town. He fixed the monitor for me and sent it to me. But just because I put it in, he had it testing great and looked good on his computer. It may not may not look the same when I put it in the game, and I'll have to adjust it a little bit. So that's not uncommon that happens. But the K4700, I would 4600. I would be really concerned with the sync wires and stuff and make sure that they're hooked up correctly.
Not only that, the sync wires go to that card, Tim, and you want to make sure that card is plugged in good.
Yes.
They have that plastic little holder that goes over the top of those cards. We do recommend using that. It helps a lot. It keeps the cards in place, because if the cards move a little bit on those pins, it can cause some weird issues, especially if you did your cap kit. You probably took those cards out, Tim. So you want to make sure you put those cards all the way back down on the chassis and make sure that they're in good shape. And so let me go ahead and just show this real quick, Tim. I think you mentioned most of the stuff we mentioned on the slide here. So just a question, did the chassis have the adjustment problem before the cap kit, or is this a new issue? Like Tim mentioned. If it's new, you may want to double check your cap kit installation to see if there are any problems such as bridge solder joints, caps installed with incorrect polarity, burn traces, etc. Because Tim, we all know how that goes. Tim, when we do cap kits, I try to stay 100% focused. I'm not doing anything else. I don't have my phone next to me. I don't have the TV on. I don't have the radio on. I'm like, okay, the next 30 minutes is just me doing these caps, and that's the only thing I'm going to pay attention to, because just one little slip of a soldering iron or one cap out of polarity, and all of a sudden, all of your work is down the drain. So double check your cap kit. Make sure that all the caps were installed properly. Make sure that all of the traces are in good condition. Make sure there were no bridge solder joints. That's probably one of the most common things we see. And just check that first before you check anything else. Now, you also want to make sure that you have the sync hooked up correctly. Now, Tim, these images come from the Real Bob Roberts website, which I also linked to down below in the show description. So let's talk about this for a second. In the case of Pac-Man, You want to split or loop the negative composite sync coming from the board to the 2 bottom pins on the 3-pin connector. That is the top image there.
Okay.
The bottom image is if you're using positive sync. Okay, so if you do not have that secondary connector hooked up, your thing ain't going to sync.
Right. No matter what.
Okay, and so you may have been hooking everything up and thought to yourself, oh, I hooked up the 5-pin. It has red, green, blue, ground sync on it.
Right.
No, it doesn't. You need the 3-pin. You need connector. You need a connector for the P204, and you need to have that hooked up if you're using Pac-Man, because Pac-Man has composite negative sync. Composite negative sync is what we have on almost all JAMA games, Tim.
Okay.
And so if you want to hook that up, you need to have that 3-pin connector hooked up. Tim, if you don't have that hooked up, you ain't syncing nothing.
Nope.
Okay, and you will have stuff all over the freaking place.
That's where that comes back to this question. If the problem was original and that's what he was trying to fix, this could have been the issue more than anything.
Absolutely. Because, like I said, a lot of people would look at the bottom one, just has the little 5-pin connector, 6-pin connector there. Looks fine. And it does if your game has composite positive sync or any kind of positive sync. It does look fine. You're correct. But in the case of Pac-Man, again, composite negative sync, we need the 3-pin connector. If we don't have that, we're up a creek. You need to find one and make sure that you're hooking it up properly. Tim, anything else here for Hayden before we move on?
No, I don't think so, Hayden. If you need more help with that, please write us back.
Sounds good. So hopefully answers your question, and good luck getting the K4600 in your Pac-Man cabinet adjusted. Double check that cap kit too. Never a bad idea to double check your work on cap kits. Tim, how many times have we bridged solder joints?
Sure, plenty of times.
Can't count them. So, I mean, it's easy to do. Just takes a little slip and then done. So there you go. Okay, Tim, looking over at the live chat. Still caught up as of now, so I think we're in good shape. Let us continue on with our next question from David. And David writes, can I swap out the pistol-style light guns on my Area 51 arcade game with rifle light guns? Is it possible? If so, what would be compatible? So, Tim...
I've actually seen this done.
Yeah, so would you want to do this? Is this something that you would want to do? I mean, personally? Or is this something that's just a David thing?
I don't know. If
he just makes you feel... I mean, here's the thing. Maybe you're an operator and all you got is like a whole bunch of rifle guns around. Yeah. You don't have the other light guns and you're like, I don't really want to spend $100 and something on getting 2 more pistols when I have all these rifles sitting around. Right. Maybe that's you. I don't know. But it almost sounds like it's just a preference thing.
Yeah, but to answer the question, it can be done. Now, should it be done might be a different question. But it can be done, but the connectors are different. You're going to have to do some rewiring on it, which is not hard to do. And but as long as they're both light guns, yes, it's possible.
Yeah, you just need to make sure it's got the optical sensor like what we have in like the standard light gun with the CRT models like this. And since it is an Area 51, it is probably a CRT-based optical game. And so you do want to make sure that you're using a rifle with that same technology, which would be like early big buck hunters, right? Something like that. Or what's the other one, Tim? Like
Sammy guns.
Yeah, what's this Sammy one? Like turkey hunting or whatever it is.
Shooting USA or something.
Yeah, exactly. Those kind of things. And so you do want to make sure that is an optical style gun. But if it is, yeah, you can make it work. Let's talk about how real quick. I'm going to put this up here, Tim. Yes, as long as the rifle light guns are also optical based. Since the connectors are different, you will need to match the wires from the rifle light gun to the connector for Area 51. Some arcade suppliers like Twisted Quarter may have an adapter to go from the 6-pin to the 4-pin connector. You can also accomplish this by splicing the wires from the rifle into the existing light gun connectors or purchasing new ones, Tim. The standard Big Buck Hunter light gun pin color codes are black is ground, red is +5 volts, yellow is trigger, and green is optical sensor. Obviously, the pump and pump ground wires will not be used.
Right.
But if you map the colors off of your standard like Big Buck Hunter rifle, you map that to the same pins on the Area 51 light gun 4-pin adapter, should be good. And this is like an adapter, yeah, exactly. An adapter like this one that we have from Twisted Quarter. It may work, but you may have to do a little bit of extra pinning on the end. You may have to move around some wires on that 4-pin side. So just make sure that you're matching that up with what's in the Area 51 manual if you want to do this. So, Tim, anything else here for David before we move on?
Yeah, most people are just going to say, why? Why not just get some handguns that you just hook up and you're done, you're playing again. But if that's your preference, hey, it can be done. And would not be that hard to do.
Well, and here's the other thing, Tim. And maybe he wants to use an Area 51 in a Big Buck Hunter cabinet.
Maybe so.
Maybe that's the thing. I was going to say, I wouldn't want to put rifles on an Area 51 cabinet. I don't know where you put the stinking things. You'd have to do a side mount of some sort.
Maybe so.
So it just depends.
There's a lot of questions here that and we don't have any pictures. So
well, but
tell us what you did and tell us why. Why? I think this is the question. If you don't mind responding, is why? Yeah. What do you want to do?
But maybe he has a big buck hunter cabinet. And he's like, I'd like to play Area 51.
Could be.
And so you buy some adapters, you hook it in there. It'll do. You'll have to. It'll be a little wonky when you're switching between games, but you can get it working. You can. So, or you could play Police Trainer, or you could play my favorite light gun game, Tim. What else we got? Lethal Enforcers 2. I don't know.
Sure.
You said Sports Shooting USA. That's a good one too. So, okay, Tim. Let's get to this question now. Tim, this is from our friend Dan. Okay. So he actually emailed me and was just having the worst time trying to get this working. So let's talk about this question real quick. And he said I could use it on the show. So here we go. I have a Centipede upright that I've been working on. I've repaired everything, including the power supply, AR board, recapped the monitor, and had the main board repaired. I cannot get a sync picture on the monitor. It continually rolls, and I can't adjust it out. I bought a signal generator. So we were talking about a test pattern generator, Tim. He bought a signal generator, thinking it was a monitor issue, but I was able to get a stable image using the generator. Okay, so monitor is good. I have just bought another known working board and same sync issue. This made me think of the sync. I seem to recall some games had a sync wire reversed or something like that on the monitor. Am I making sense? I am open to any ideas. So, Tim, we have Dan here, and for some reason, this monitor does not want to sync with any Centipede board.
Right.
Okay, but the monitor works because he has a test pattern generator. Signal generator is what he calls it. So we know that the monitor is in good shape. We know the monitor is working. So what do you think is going on? What advice can you give Dan here?
Well, he probably... Yeah, it's sync wiring is probably the problem. Yeah. If everything else, you got a board, you got this, you got that.
When we hook up a test pattern generator, we usually don't use the cabinet wiring.
Right.
We have adapters that we use in order to hook it up. And so that means he's bypassing the cabinet wiring when he's doing the signal generator, but that's just showing us that the monitor works. So
right.
There you go.
So what he needs to find is, what does his game have? Does it have a single wire or is it a double wire? And then we can kind of go from there. Dan, you can email us or talk to us personally back. But you
already got his answer.
Okay, you already know the answer.
Yeah,
okay, well, good.
He already solved it. That's the good news.
Okay, hooked up. If your monitor has single, then you're probably just running composite negative sync, by far the most common.
Yeah.
But
kind of like what we talked about earlier.
Right. But if it's a dual, you might need to either splice them together or run them to two separates. So I think you're going to show
the monitor here.
Yeah, we don't know the monitor, so that's where I would need to know what kind, because it not only does it matter what kind of board you have, what matters what kind of monitor you have.
Absolutely.
So, and you could have a different revision or even a bootleg board sometimes, and stuff like that matters. So go ahead and put up the slide, John. I know you got some.
I do now. I do want to say that in honor of Hayden and Dan's question, that's where the second part of the title comes in. Okay, so living on the edge connector, that's for jump in general, and syncing. Okay. So that was where the title came from for tonight. 2 sync issues here, but let's talk about Dan's real quick, Tim, like you said. So Centipede has pins for positive horizontal sync, positive vertical sync, and negative composite sync coming from it, which are all found on connector P19. With that said, be sure you have the correct sync wires hooked up to your monitor. If your monitor only has a single sync input, it probably is for composite negative sync. What we talked about with the K4600 before, Tim. Okay, and that is by far the most common sync connection, like we talked about. Most JAMA games, composite negative sync is where it's at. The manual for the monitor should show you the locations and types of sync inputs that are available. Also, be sure to only hook up either the positive sync pins or the negative sync pins. Right, don't hook up both.
Yeah,
it's not very important. Yeah, that's right. Do not hook up both. Now, Tim, I talked with Dan, and guess what happened?
He had hooked them both up? Or
no, the P19 connector, it was not keyed, and he had it upside down.
Upside down, okay.
And so, obviously, when you have that upside down, those sync wires are not hooked.
Somewhere else.
Right, exactly. Those sync wires are not hooked up right, so all he did was flip the connector around, and guess what?
Boom.
Perfect.
Worked.
So there you go. Easy fix, thankfully.
But may help somebody else, so thank you,
Dan. Right, because I told him
to
trace down the sync wires. Well, guess what he found when he traced down the sync wires?
That they were backwards.
That the connector was backwards. That is correct.
Now, I've done that.
Yes, we have all done that. And that's why it's so important that connectors are keyed. Please key connectors, manufacturers. So,
right.
But obviously back in the early 80s, late 70s, Tim, manufacturers are not so good about that.
Sometimes I would just take a black marker and draw on the top of mine when I'm pulling out stuff, just so I know that black is always the top.
Yep.
Or something. Because most of them are in a way that it makes sense. Some of them could go either way, and sometimes it gets a little confusing. Now, over time, you begin to know those things. But when I was new, that's a lot of things I would do. I'd mark stuff.
Absolutely.
Or I would mark the board, a black line, and a black line over here, so they would line up.
We talk about this when we talk about the purity or convergence rings, Tim, about taking the paint pen across the top. You can do the same thing here. If you just if the connectors are black, you can take like a white paint pen and just kind of draw across it. Or if they're white, you can take a black like Sharpie and draw across it. So that way you know, match the top and the bottom Sharpie line. That's what we want to do. So glad to hear that Dan got it working after I sent that email. Hopefully you're enjoying some Centipede, Dan, and always good talking with him. Tim, he's a good friend.
For sure.
Now, Tim, we're actually out of questions. We have kind of a special event coming up. Obviously, your birthday present, but some other things too. Before we get there, though, Tim, Current Photograph sent $10. Thank you so much, sir. That's amazing.
Thanks.
Thank you so much for that. We hope that we are glad that you obviously have enjoyed the information tonight, and you are such a great supporter of ours, Current Photograph. We're just so glad you're here. So glad that you're part of our show and in our audience, and we really do appreciate your donation this evening.
We do.
Let's see what else we got here, Tim. Is it possible? This is Mr. Chris Rules. Is it possible to back up your Area 51 hard drive? Absolutely. Sure. Now, with that said, you can also, there's downloads out there for them already. Right. So there's CHD files in MAME that have already backed up those drives that may be actually in better shape than what yours is. Because considering the age of your current hard drive, it's probably pretty old. Now, what we would recommend doing instead of backing up your hard drive is going with one of the newer flash drives. Right. Because then you don't have to worry. They're a lot more solid. They'll last a lot longer. Hard drives with moving parts, Tim, just don't last that long. And so obviously the technology's gotten better over time. And so now Arcade Services on eBay sells like the flash drives, Tim, that you can get. Let's do those flash drives. That'll make a lot of difference. It'll be good for you. So Joe says Google Area 51 hard drive with the age on that machine sounds assuredly out there. And it definitely is. So you can and like I said, I would use the image that's out there versus using yours. It's probably cleaner. But why not just order the kit from Arcade Services with the flash drive? It's going to save you a lot of headache in the long run for sure. Oh, I forgot. Current Photographs also said Arcade Repair Tips rules.
Oh, thank you.
Makes me think of Hulk Hogan. Hulk rules, dude.
Yeah.
Say your prayers, eat your vitamins, all that kind of stuff. Okay, there we go. Okay, let's get to our special event.
Okay,
now, Tim,
special event.
What month is this?
This is March.
And this is your birthday.
It is.
But that's not the first thing we're doing. Yeah. What else happens in March?
Oh, there's some basketball games go on or
That's
something.
Right.
It's March something. I can't remember what.
March Madness.
March Madness, yeah.
Okay. So what did we do last year?
We had we talked about the most popular games of all time. Or
yes,
something like
the highest grossing.
We
had a bracket on the highest grossing.
We had to fill it out and guess what our guess would be.
Right. So I'm going to activate the live chat, Tim. Do you have the live chat switch? Is it like right here? Boom, like that. We're going to activate you guys real quick. And we're going to fill out a bracket based on the 8. I eliminated 2. Best arcade games of the 2000s according to comicbook.com, Tim. Comicbook.com rounded up the top arcade games of the 2000s, celebrating fighters, racers, and shooters that still drew crowds. The list features classics like Street Fighter 4, Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Tekken 5, Outrun 2. Rhythm Hit, Dance Dance Revolution, and shooters like Time Crisis 3 also helped define the decade in arcades. Now, Tim, I cut 2 of the games from the list. I'm not going to tell you which 2.
Okay.
Okay, but what we're going to do is we're going to vote.
Okay.
So here we go, Tim. Arcade Repair Tips, Bracketology, once again. So we're going to make this an annual thing, I guess.
Okay.
So since it's March Madness, here is the bracket. Now, we have DDR going up against Mario Kart Arcade GP, Tim.
Okay.
We have House of the Dead 3 versus Outrun 2.
Okay.
We have Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Time Crisis 3. And then we have Street Fighter 4 versus Tekken 5. Lots of sequels on here, Tim. Okay. Except for maybe Mario Kart and DDR, the only 2 that aren't.
And we haven't discussed any of this beforehand.
No. In fact, I put this on the outline like yesterday or today, so I don't even think Tim knew about it until it came in. So here's what we're going to do, guys. We're going to vote. And we're going to give you a little time to vote. So our first one is DDR versus Mario Kart GP.
I know, I'm voting on that one.
Okay, so I need to know, so live chat, either write DDR or Mario Kart GP, and we're going to give you a little time to get your votes in. Tim's vote counts as well. Tim, tell us who you're going with and why.
I'm going to vote on DDR.
Okay, so tell me why DDR over Mario Kart.
Mario Kart's a cool game. I love to play it. and probably would play it, but man, the lines at DDR and seeing all the people watch and the contests, and it was such an international hit.
Yeah, it really was.
I wouldn't be surprised they couldn't win this thing.
Right, and the interesting thing, Tim, is
that's the number one seed.
When you go to other arcades, Tim, you still see both these games in good rotation and maybe newer versions. Okay, we've got an MK vote. We got 2 DDR votes, Tim. So you got a DDR vote. So far, it's 3-1. I'm going to give it a couple minutes or so here on this one before we move on. But I'm kind of with you. I'm kind of with you on DDR here.
Oh,
Tim.
we got another
Mario
Kart. Two more Mario Kart.
So we have 3 DDRs with Tim's vote, 2 Mario Karts. Okay, we're going to give you guys about 60 more seconds here to get your
Remember
votes in.
the best arcade games of the 2000s. So.
Yeah, best arcade games of the 2000s is what we're going for. Oh, Tim, I think we tied it up.
I think I'm an operator.
We tied it up. We tied it up. So, Joe says, I was too busy chasing girls to play in the 2000s. I literally never played any of those. A DDR vote came in, Tim. Okay, here we go. We got like 30 seconds here. If I don't get anything else, it looks like DDR is going to win. Because we have, let's see, for Mario Kart, we have 1, 2. We had 3 for Mario Kart. We have 1, 2, 3. We have 1, 2, 3 for DDR2. But, Tim, you are the tiebreaker.
Okay, if I break the tiebreaker.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got like 15
Mario
more
Kart better get some more votes.
Oh, here we go. Oh, there you go. Mario Kart GP, Tim. We're tied again.
Okay.
We're 4-4, right? 4-4. So, okay, I may have to be the tiebreaker.
I'm going to say, we might have to get you to break the tie.
Okay, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, I will tie break Tim. DDR. Okay, because I got to go with you. Dance Dance Revolution. Oh, and we had a chime in right there. Okay. DDR anyway. So DDR won outright, even without my tiebreaker. So DDR advances to the next round. Okay, guys.
You can play along at home. We're going to go to the next one.
Yeah. So House of the Dead 3 versus Outrun 2. Go ahead and put your votes in for this. Tim, tell me about your thoughts on the House of the Dead series and the Outrun series. How about that?
Well, I think like an operator. Which one was the coins?
Yes, absolutely.
Which one were banking the coins? In that House of the Dead 3, I can remember going by the bowling alley and seeing the quarters in line to be the next one to play. Outrun 2 was a great game, but I don't recall ever seeing that there. And
it was not a game we saw at a lot of arcades, I feel.
The original Outrun was good, but we're talking about the 2000s. I think I'm going to have to go with the House of the Dead.
Well, so far it looks like your suspicions have been held up. We've got 1 vote for Outrun, but already 4 for House of the Dead.
Okay.
So we'll give everybody another minute or so to get in. I'm kind of with you, too. I love light gun games, too, Tim, and House of the Dead 3 is a light gun game. Driving games are good, and this is the only, besides Mario Kart, it's the only other driving game on the list. But, Tim, it is overwhelming, I think, for House of the Dead 3. So I'll give you like 30 more seconds here, and we're going to move on. House of the Dead 3, it looks like is going to be our big winner here. Now, on the original list, they also had House of the Dead 4, Tim, but I feel like 3 is better. I think more people remember playing 3 than 4. And so that's why I added 3 on
I know from the South Regional, the House of the Dead was really popular. So
there you go, the South Regional.
They're going to pull the final 4 here.
There we go. I think we're going to wrap it up there, Tim. Overwhelmingly, House of the Dead 3. Okay. So House of the Dead 3 moves on. Okay, so it'll go up against DDR here in a second. Okay, HOD 3. Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Time Crisis 3. We've got light gun game versus fighting game. Get your votes in, live chat. Tim. Okay, which one are we going with?
I will say this was the easiest call. Okay. The others I had to think on it a little bit. This was a no-brainer for me. I'm going with Marvel vs. Capcom 2.
Okay, Marvel vs. Capcom 2 may be a number 1 seed in this. If you really think about it.
That was a lot of quarters we pulled out.
I will say this, though. I may have seen more Time Crisis 3 cabinets than Marvel vs. Capcom 2 cabinets.
Maybe so.
What do you think?
Maybe
I
so.
I feel like Time Crisis 3 was all over the place.
Yeah.
So, like, if you're talking about pure number of cabinets, I kind of have to think Time Crisis 3. But, Tim, I think we've already got 4 votes in for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, plus Shears, that's 5. I think we've already seen, Tim, an overwhelming response to Marvel vs. Capcom. It is a favorite of many fighting game enthusiasts, even people who don't like fighting games like Marvel vs. Capcom. So, okay, Tim, I'm just going to call it right there. We didn't have 1 vote for Time Crisis 3. I thought we'd get at least 1 in there. But Time Crisis 3 moves on, Tim. So we're going to do Time Crisis.
Marvel one.
Oh, Marvel. Excuse me. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Sorry. See, I'm trying MVC 2. There you Okay. Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There we go. And one for somebody did do Time Crisis.
Okay.
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 moves on. Sorry, guys. Gonna take you for a ride. That is correct. Everybody remembers that. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2 moves on to the next round. Okay, Tim, who will Marvel vs. Capcom 2 face? Will it be Street Fighter 4 or Tekken 5? Okay.
On this one, I would have to flip a coin.
Okay.
I'm going to refer to you on this one because which one did you play more, or because you like them both, right?
Yes, I do. I'm a huge fan. Now, when Street Fighter 4 came out, Street Fighter had not had a fighting game, like a new release in a long time. Okay. Street Fighter 3, had been out there for a long time. And, I mean, it was a long time before we got Street Fighter 4, like actual Street Fighter 4. But Tekken 5, I'm a huge Tekken fan. Love Tekken, and Tekken 5 may be one of my favorites of the series. It's really good. Tekken 4 was not very good to me. And so when Tekken 5 came, it was just a breath of fresh air. But Tim, man, Street Fighter, it's just hard to get over. I think I'm going to have to go Street Fighter.
Oh, wow.
And so I'm looking at...
I was surprised. I thought you would say Tekken.
I like Street Fighter 4 a lot. It's
okay.
And Tim, it looks like overwhelmingly the live chat is in the same boat. Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4, Street Fighter 4. We had one Tekken 5. Dude, I can understand both. I love Tekken 5.
I mean, too.
Tekken 5
That's what I
really
said.
good.
I would have flipped a coin and just said who won on that one.
Yeah, exactly.
My opinion.
But, Street Fighter 4, I think, brought more people to the arcade. Tekken 5, they'd pretty much been iterating the series. Tekken 5, way better than Tekken 4, but not as good as Street Fighter 4. So, SF4 moves on. Okay,
right,
Tim.
So, we got the final four already.
We have the final four. DDR, House of the Dead 3, we got Marvel vs. Capcom 2, and we have Street Fighter 4. So, let's take the first, what would you call it, semifinal?
Yeah.
DDR versus House of the Dead 3. So, Tim, DDR barely squeaked by Mario Kart. Live chat, we need you guys to chime in. So, barely squeaked by. House of the Dead 3, Tim, still a fan favorite light gun game. Who do you think pulls out the win, DDR or House of the Dead 3? Those are the two that we're looking at here.
I'm still going to go DDR. That's going to be my vote. But I'm not the deciding factor. What does everybody else think?
Okay, Tim is in for DDR. What are you guys in for? We need your input. So, DDR House of the Dead 3 is what we're going for. DDR House of the Dead 3. Okay, House of the Dead. We just had a vote for House of the Dead, Tim. So, it's 1-1. So, we'll see. We're going to give everybody a little bit of time here. I may put it in the live chat since I didn't update the little slide anyway. House of the Dead 3, Tim. A DDR. Okay, it's tied right now.
2-2.
2-2. House of the Dead 3 or DDR. It's 2-2. Your vote counts DDR, Tim.
Okay,
we're 3-2. 3-2 on DDR. So let's see. Oh, another DDR. Another DDR, Tim. Let's see. Dance Dance Revolution, House of the Dead 3, guys. We're going to give everybody about 30 more seconds to get those votes in. See if anybody else says Dance Dance Revolution, Tim. So
pulling ahead.
Yeah, it's pulling ahead now after just barely squeaking by Mario Kart, Tim. Just barely squeaking by. DDR, culturally DDR, but but House of the Dead is a better game. So House of the Dead. So there you go. That's a House of the Dead vote. So where are we at, Tim?
5-3.
5-3 DDR. We got about 15 more seconds here, and then we're gonna move on. So if anybody else wants to get those votes in, let's hear it. Okay, here we go. DDR showed up on Malcolm in the Middle. That's got to win. So that's actually another vote for DDR, Tim.
So we got 6.
So there we go. And Geeklight said Mario. Sorry, we're past the Mario. That was earlier. So okay, Tim, are we done?
I think we're done.
Okay, that's it.
DDR is in the final.
DDR is in the final. DDR. Okay, so DDR moves on, Tim. And now our second semifinal is Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Street Fighter 4. Ooh. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 versus Street Fighter 4. So live chat, you know what to do. Let's hear which one you would like. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter 4.
Cast my vote on
okay,
this.
Tim's gonna wait on his vote. He does not want to
sway anybody.
Exactly, no swaying. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2, obviously part of the Versus Fighting series. Great game. A lot of people love that. Easily passed Time Crisis in the last round, Tim.
Yeah, it is.
Street Fighter 4, the same thing. It kind of beat Tekken 5 pretty handily, which is kind of surprising. So, okay, one vote SF4, Tim. Alrighty, so we got one. Okay, there's a Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. 2 for Marvel vs. Capcom 2, Street Fighter 4. Marvel vs. Capcom, it looks like, Tim. That's 4-1 right now. 4-1 for Marvel vs. Capcom. Mm-hmm. Okay, 4-2. Street Fighter 4 gets in there. So 4-2. Okay, we're going to give everybody about 60 more seconds at this point. Okay, another MVC, Tim. Another MVC there. So, it looks like MVC may be pulling away, Tim. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 may be the winner here. Let's see. Anybody else voting?
That's my
30
vote.
more seconds. That's your vote too?
Yeah.
Okay, so
6-2.
6-2. Anybody else? Anybody else? Last call. Done. Okay, Tim.
Championship
DDR
game.
versus Marvel versus Capcom 2. Okay. Okay, so I'm going to post in the live chat real quick. Okay, Tim. You see that? That is our break.
Okay.
Because I didn't want to get the MVC votes from earlier mixed up. So anything after that break point in the live chat is where we are going to start voting. So what's it going to be, guys? DDR, MVC2. Chime in now. Who wins? Now, Tim, this is tough.
Yeah,
both these games are really good games. I think either one of them could win, really. So, okay, Marvel vs. Capcom. We got one vote for that so far. So, it's really hard to beat Marvel vs. Capcom 2. There's 2 for Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Got some more coming in. We're going to give everybody a little bit. DDR vote, Tim. We got 1 for DDR. Okay, you guys vote. MVC, DDR. Just in the live chat, put what you want. 2 and 2 right now, Tim. You guys can see the votes as they're coming in, so you guys can kind of decide. Maybe the way somebody votes will sway you. I don't know. So, DDR, another DDR, Tim. MVC2, we're 3 and 3 right now.
It's close.
It's MVC2, Tim.
4-3.
Okay, we're gonna give everybody a little extra time on this one since this is the championship match. So, okay. Well, it looks like we got one more in for MVC2, so it's 4-3 right now.
Yeah, 4-3.
4-3. Okay, anybody else gonna vote? Any other votes? 60 seconds. I know we're a little behind on the delay, so but right now it looks like it's MVC2, Tim. 4-3. Real close, real close. Any other DDR fans out there want to vote? I don't know, Tim. That may be it for this evening. Maybe crowning a winner here. We got 30 seconds. Anybody else can get that vote in? Joe says fine games peaked with ER Kung Fu. MVC is just such a great game. Let's see. Okay. Yeah, no more votes, Tim.
All right.
I think. Okay, who are you gonna vote for?
I am gonna vote for Marvel vs. Capcom. So
Marvel vs. Capcom 2 wins. Well, they were already ahead, but you put them ahead even further. So Marvel vs. Capcom 2 is the best arcade game of the 2000s. Now, not using the ones from let's say comicbook.com. But Tim, that's always fun. So congratulations, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Everybody knew it was a good game already, Tim, but now you know it was the best arcade game of the 2000s according to the live chat tonight.
It was a close game.
It was very close. That first matchup with DDR and Mario Kart was a hard one. That was pretty tough. I just kind of randomly put them on there. If I was smart, I would have put Marvel vs. Capcom 2 probably at the bottom because it was more of a number 1 seed than anything. I knew that too. But it's always fun to do that, guys. So hopefully you had fun doing it. Thank you guys for chiming in and being a part of the show tonight. And congratulations again to MVC2 and all the people who voted for that. Hopefully you guys have a version or a copy of that you can play yourself, which is really good. I have a Dreamcast copy, Tim. We used to have the arcade game. We had one at one time, but it's a fantastic game. Fun to play. Play some MVC2 if you can tonight. They've released it a couple of times on different consoles, too. So there you go. Okay, Tim. Well, it's time. I can't go to the next slide because I don't want to give away your gift. Happy birthday to Tim. So it's time that we do the traditional gifting of the presents. So this is Tim's birthday present. You like the paper?
I do.
It's pretty obvious what it's for. Just want to make sure. So there we go. So you actually said what you wanted on the last live show.
I did.
Okay, so I got I got you what you wanted, but maybe with a little bit of an upgrade.
Oh, okay.
So there you go. So I have no receipts on there, so keep that.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
All right.
There you go.
This is, I'll let everybody see it.
There you go.
This is a circuit breaker finder.
Not just that.
And it's
I got the whole kit.
With the kit and the case.
Yep.
And all that stuff.
And the adapters.
That's really nice.
So it's got, down here, you see?
Oh,
it's got light socket adapter, got your 3-to-2 prong, got your other stuff in there. So it has it's the whole kit. It wasn't just the circuit breaker detector. So
do you guys know what this does? This is so cool. You hook this up, like let's say in your bathroom, and then you go to your circuit box and you take this pin and it'll beep. It'll tell you which breaker is connected to that plug.
Absolutely.
So you don't have to go in there, especially in the game room, right?
Yep.
Turn it off, turn it on, not that one, not this one, not that one. It narrows that down, and I have been wanting one of these for a long time.
There we go. That's
I
what
have
he asked
something similar, but it's definitely not this fancy and won't do what this one will do. This one makes the job super easy. So thank you, Jonathan.
You're welcome. And you guys, if you want to order your own, you can order it as well, Tim. I've got the little thing right here. You got just one box this year because it's more expensive. The Klein Tools ET3110 kit. So you'll see, like, it's got the little adapters with it. It's, I mean, which is a little bit more than what just the standard kit comes with. So you got a little bit of a bonus there. There was a good sale going on, Tim. So and I'm glad. Arcade Survival says I need one of those. We all need.
Yes, we do this.
Yeah, it's one of those things that if you have a house, Tim, it's a really good thing to have. Period.
Yeah, you know, this came up because I was recently repaired a light socket for my wife. Her socket was just loose, and she would go blow dry her hair and it would come unplugged because it wasn't tight anymore. It wasn't holding there. I said, well, I'll replace that for you. And I swear, we hit every breaker in the world till we finally found that one. And it took us forever. And this would have saved me 15 minutes that day. But anyway, thank you for that, Jonathan. It's a great gift. I really appreciate it. And we'll put this out there. My birthday is always followed by your birthday.
That's true.
So you've got a month to go. So be thinking about what you might like and put in your requests.
I'll think about it.
Because if not, I'll have to pick something. And so anyway, we'll do a birthday party again next month. So stay tuned for that.
So, I think next month it'll be before my actual birthday. Because I think we'll be on the 1st, April 1st. We're actually going to do April Fool's Day. So we've had some April Fool's jokes in the past.
We have.
I don't know if we'll do one this year, but I'll think about it. Happy birthday, Tim.
Thank you.
So, and I'm glad to hear that you had a good one. So you got off for the day and everything.
It was a great day.
Absolutely. Current Phonograph says happy birthday, Tim.
Thank you.
So let's see what we got. Misfit Chris Rules says I have the socket adapter, works good. So
okay,
there you go.
Good.
Let's see. Joe Holt says surprise a working pole position. Yeah, I can't afford that right now. Yeah, especially after that. Well, we did that news story about the one that was like bring a trailer, right? That went for like $2,500 or whatever on the sit down. You used to have one of those.
Yeah, we did.
Okay, guys, let's get to the news and discussion section of the show tonight, Tim. Lots of news that we need to follow up on real quick. So some of the big news, Tim, was that Stern Pinball did reveal their Pokemon pinball machine. And Tim, I like GameSpot's article. Pokemon pinball machines announced, and they're super expensive.
Yeah.
Yes, they are. Pinball machines are expensive. So Stern Pinball has officially revealed a new Pokemon pinball machine with the Pro model starting at $6,999, Tim. Wow. Premium at $9,699, Tim. And a limited edition for $12,999.
And somebody bought it.
I'm sure. Blending pinball action and Pokemon catching battles and Team Rocket. The game includes multi-ball modes, color-changing RGB lighting, and animatronics, Tim. It's one of the most ambitious and pricey pinball releases ever, thrilling fans and collectors alike. Tim, I would like to think that this thing would print money, but man, at those prices, I just don't know, But it does seem like a lot of people are super excited about it. And I mean, my kids are Pokemon fans. I'm sure they want to play this, but there's no way I'm spending $6,999 on the
That's
promo.
A lot of plays before you break even.
Yes, absolutely. So
that's the way I always look at it. It's like I could go play that game all that I want to. I'll never spend $1,000 probably.
Do you remember when we were in Jersey Jack's seminar when he announced Wizard of Oz and it was going to be $4,000 and people were choking?
Yeah.
Okay, and now we've got pinball machines at $12,999 and people are buying them.
Right.
This is crazy. But yeah, it's just amazing how things have changed in such, I would say, a short period of time. But it's actually a long period of time because we've been around too long. So, but here's the thing. Great theme. I don't know if you could have picked a better theme. No, and I'm sure the pricing has something to do with the licensing fee for sure.
Probably so.
But this thing's going to probably print money, Tim. And Mark's going to be at Texas Pinball Festival. He's going to get to play it. I'm sure we're going to hear his thoughts on it, Tim, because I'm kind of curious. And so, Tim, I don't think I'm going to make the Pinball Festival. My March is slammed. Oh, my God.
I may be in the area working, so I'm hoping that I might get to stop in.
Well, if you do, let us know. And the other thing, Tim, about Pinball Festival, and look, I love Pinball Festival, guys, but so many people go now, playing anything is difficult.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's kind of like going to Disney World now,
It
where you
is.
have to like wait for all the games,
Right.
like stand in lines, and like you used to have to stand in lines, but now I feel like the lines are super long.
Mm-hmm.
So I do still like Pinball Festival, but it's not. It's a good place for networking and talking with other people, not so much for I feel like playing games as much. So not like it used to be. So, but it's still a good time. Hope you guys can make it. If you guys are going to Texas Pinball Festival, let us know. We'd love to hear from you. So. Okay, Tim, our next news story here. LaserDisc games changed the industry and then disappeared. Again, from comicbook.com, like our earlier bracket story was, Tim. Remember Dragon's Lair and Space Ace, Tim?
Mm-hmm, I do.
LaserDisc games were an arcade revolution using film quality animation and full motion video to create interactive adventures in the early 80s. They influenced many genres, and pushed developers to think bigger, but high cost and hardware limits meant their heyday was short-lived. Yes, LaserDisc games not around very long, Tim.
No,
they kind of came and went. It was a thing, and then it wasn't a thing anymore. But those of us
LaserDisc players didn't last long.
That's true. But those of us who are arcade fans, we do remember fondly the times where we'd see LaserDisc games in arcades. So great stuff. I love those games. And so this article is really great if you just want to reminisce a little bit about the days of LaserDisc games, Tim. So I'm sure we have some people who out there who like to do that. Alan's usually here. He likes that. He's a big fan. So get perfect emulation from this FPGA-based arcade board, Tim. Now, so what this is like the Mr. Tim, but they jammatized it. Okay, so the Multi-System 2 arcade board is an FPGA-based board that plugs into any JAMMA-compatible arcade machine and lets you run a huge library of classic arcade games with hardware-level precision. Unlike traditional software emulation, the FPGA recreates the original circuitry, delivering gameplay that's exactly like the original thing. The project, built by the community behind the Mr. FPGA, promises near-perfect arcade experiences once it's ready for release. Not quite out yet here, Tim, but I tell you what, what a piece of hardware. This thing's going to be crazy.
Yeah.
You're talking about perfect. It's not emulation, Tim, more like simulation, right? Yeah. At the hardware level. So, just like what you get with the Mr. now, this is basically a JAMMA version of Mr. Not out yet to purchase, but Tim, I'm telling you, this thing is going to be...
Any idea what it's going to cost?
I have no idea right now.
What is the Mr. cost? Do you know?
Not off the top of my head. I've never really priced it, Tim. Okay. I know a lot of people out there have Mr. set up. So if you have a Mr. set up, let us know how much it cost you. I'm kind of curious. But Tim, this thing, I'm telling you, it's going to sell gangbusters. It really will. You're talking about the best version of, the games play exactly like they did on the original hardware. You can't get any better than.
So those people worried earlier about playing Galaga could get one of these.
No problem.
Yeah.
No problem. So, yeah, Tim, if you want to look up what a Mr. FPGA board costs, let us know. And like I said, I don't even know what the cost of this is going to be, but I think it's in the article if you guys want to check it out. So, I'm going to go ahead and go on here, Tim. Meet the arcade cabinet that never plays the same game twice. And this is also from Hackster's website, Tim. A new arcade machine prototype uses procedural generation to create games in real time, meaning each playthrough is completely unique. Rather than relying on fixed ROM images, it blends mechanics, rules, and visuals dynamically. These aren't just random games that an AI dreams up out of whole cloth, though, which would likely be unplayable, but rather variations of classics like Space Invaders and Snake that breathe new life into games we already love. It reimagines what arcade games can be by eliminating repeat gameplay. So, Tim,
nice.
Every time you play this, you're going to get something different.
Crazy.
So imagine getting a Space Invaders board, but on this version of the board, the little Space Invaders move differently.
Mm-hmm.
Or maybe now instead of being your spaceship's at the bottom and the Space Invaders are at the top, maybe it turns it sideways on you.
Okay.
Like Yars' Revenge style. So I think this is cool in the fact that every time you play it, you get something different. Nice. It gives you a little variation on the rules. So if you could kind of implement that into an actual game, I think that'd be really cool. Something like that where the mechanics every time you play the game, they change just enough to kind of keep you hooked on it, right?
Interesting.
So, but Tim, that's one of the things that AI is allowing us to do, right? It's kind of, thinking about a game like that changes mechanics.
But if I really liked one, I can only play it once.
Well, it'd be cool too if it gave you
save it or something,
right? Or if it gave you a number, and so that number was generation 1768, and so you're I want to play 1768. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If it gave you a number or something like that,
that'd be my problem.
A password or something to redo it. But yeah, I think it's cool because you get a little bit different experience every time. not the same thing. So that way it kind of changes it up on you. You're always getting this kind of twist on whatever this game is. Tim, did you look up the Mister? How much was it?
About $200.
Yeah, I think that was about
180.
Right. Sounds about right.
190, 200, around that. 187, I think, was a pretty common number I saw.
There you go.
200 was shipping.
So, but let's see. Seahorse says all night says that looks like a truck stop bathroom item dispenser. Kind of does. Kind of does. So I'm sure they are going cheap on the cabinet for sure. So. Okay, now, Tim, this is our last news and discussion section here, and kind of a sad story here, Tim. Hopefully everybody's okay, but man in induced coma after fighting during children's birthday party at Chuck E. Cheese on Monroe Street, Tim. Mm-hmm. A fight broke out between two men in a bathroom of a Chuck E. Cheese in Ohio during a 5-year-old's birthday party before spilling into the play area. A 22-year-old man identified as the uncle of the birthday child suffered serious injuries, including a broken eye socket, and was placed in an induced medical coma. Families fled in panic, 2 men faced charges, and the incident traumatized attendees, including the young birthday.
Yeah, what a ridiculous.
I'm telling you, this is awful, isn't it?
Yeah.
I mean, I know we've seen some fights at Chuck E. Cheese, Tim, but this one may be the worst that we've ever seen. Mm-hmm. I mean, the fact that a broken eye socket sucks. Yeah. Tim, obviously I've watched UFC a lot in my life. I've seen broken eye sockets. And man, you want to talk about something that looks like it hurts. Yeah, broken orbital bone, broken eye socket. Those two things are the two things I never want to break. I would rather break almost anything else in my body except for those. Because, man, it looks painful every time you see it. Mm-hmm. And so, I mean, just goes to show you, this guy had to be placed in a medical, an induced medical coma just to try to heal. Yeah, just to try to heal from the injuries. I mean, goodness. So we, Tim, just want to say some prayers for the families involved here. Hopefully, all the bad blood is kind of done now, and that everybody can kind of get healed up. Hopefully, this uncle's going to be okay. But goodness, Tim, did you ever see any fights like this when you worked there?
Not any of that magnitude. I've seen some arguments and things, but nothing that where punches were thrown.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I think, we've had some videos and things of people and some of the fights at Chuck E. Cheese, but never, I think, on this level. It's like these guys are really going at it for them to have like broken eye sockets and things like that. So again, just prayers. Hopefully everybody can get healed up and all the bad blood can kind of, dissipate here. So anyway, guys, hopefully everything's okay. Let's see. Arcade Survival says, did the rat get involved? Probably not. I would imagine everything. The Chuck E. Cheese.
He got hauled off to jail not long ago.
That's right.
You don't see that article.
People, you got to remember too, Tim, people who wear the Chuck E. Cheese suit are short, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so they're not probably the best fighters.
Most of the time.
Yeah. Alan's here. Tim, he says, I was in a wreck, broke my eye socket, 3 titanium plates in my face now.
Wow.
Guys, it sucks. It looks like it sucks. I mean, so I'm sorry, Alan, you went through that. Anytime I see it, it looks like the most painful injury you could possibly imagine. So there we go, guys. So hopefully everybody's okay again. And sad news, but Tim, people sometimes just get crazy there. So, but there you go. Let's see. Current Phonograph says they've been playing too much Street Fighter 2. Yeah, life ain't like Street Fighter 2. They should have been having this fight on the games and not in real life. Tim. It's like, hey, if we're gonna fight, we're gonna do some fighting games here. Some Marvel vs. Capcom 2, some Street Fighter. That's how we're gonna fight this thing out. So. Well, Tim, that about does it for this episode. Do want to just kind of wrap things up real quick. We do want to remind you guys, we want your arcade-related videos. If you want some free advertising for your YouTube channel, we're looking for people to submit short videos, 10 minutes or less, about arcade-related topics. Send a link of your video to questions@arcaderepairtips.com, and our staff will review it. If we like it, we'll use it during one of our live show episodes. Make sure to put in a plug-in for your channel so people will know where to find you. And we always look forward to your submissions. Of course, Tim, we haven't had any submissions in a while. But the whole reason we did this was because some of you guys were having some problems getting over that monetization hump on YouTube. And so that was the biggest thing, is like just to give you guys some free advertising. And so if you guys want to take advantage of that, if you have an arcade-related video on your channel and you want us to direct some traffic your way, you can always send like a clip of your video or a link to your video to questions@arcaderepairtips.com. And if we like it, we'll do it. We'll use it during one of the live shows or something like that. We'll get you some promotion and hopefully get you guys over that monetization hump. And then, Tim, we have our contact information. We have our general email address at questions@arcaderepairtips.com, questions@arcaderepairtips.com. If you put live show in the subject line, we will mention it on the show. Otherwise, we will get around to it whenever we do. But by far, the best way to get in touch with us is via the general email address at questions@arcaderepairtips.com. And if you have some advice for Tim on his trip to Connecticut, you can also send it to questions@arcaderepairtips.com. We have our YouTube page at youtube.arcaderepairtips.com. Of course, all these fine people in the live chat know this, Tim. But maybe you're listening on the audio podcast feed and would really like to check out the YouTube version of this episode. If you do, you can go to youtube.arcaderepairtips.com and look up episode 109 and you will find it. Of course, comments from the last live show will be covered on the next episode. Tim, we don't always get a lot of comments on the episodes themselves, but that's just kind of a reminder. So if you'd rather leave a comment on this episode instead of sending us an email address, you can do that, and we will cover it on the next live show episode. And so just another way to get in contact with us if you would like to do that. We also have our podcast feed that contains all of our live show audio, our interviews podcast, question and answer podcast, and all the rest of the stuff whenever we get around to it. And you guys can subscribe to that audio podcast feed on Spreaker at spreaker.arcaderepairtips.com, on Spotify at spotify.arcaderepairtips.com, or on iTunes at itunes.arcaderepairtips.com. Tim, we actually crossed the 50 threshold last month.
Nice.
Which was nice. We have 50 iTunes reviews, so thank you guys for doing that. If you want to leave reviews, you can do it on either one of those pages. That's Spreaker, Spotify, iTunes. Man, just leave us a good review and let everybody know. It really helps us get some exposure and things like that. And, of course, you can also listen to this podcast wherever fine podcasts are aggregated. Tim, my favorite podcast app is Pocket Cast. So if you're using Pocket Cast, you can look for Arcade Repair. You'll find us. So we're pretty much on every platform now. So you can always go to any platform, but Spreaker, Spotify, and iTunes are our preferred platforms. And, again, leave us a review if you like what you hear. Oh, and a reminder that if you want the after show, which happens directly after the regular live show, you will have to go to the YouTube video for this episode. We do not put that on the audio podcast feed. And then we have our social media pages. We have our Facebook page at facebook.arcaderepairtips.com, facebook.arcaderepairtips.com. Tim, how often do we post on facebook.arcaderepairtips.com?
Every single day.
Every single day? No way. Is it true?
That's what they say.
Oh, it's true. It's true. So there you go. And on X, actually the same things get cross-posted on both platforms. Our Twitter/X feed at twitter.arcaderepairtips.com or our Facebook page at facebook.arcaderepairtips.com. Excuse me, Tim. Either one of those you can go to, and they have the same content, so you don't have to subscribe to both if you don't want to. But you get some arcade news or an arcade post every single freaking day. Now, sometimes I cheat. Like on Valentine's Day, I put an image up there. Happy Valentine's Day. Okay, so it's not always news, but you will get one post a day of something that's arcade fun. So whether that's a news story, maybe that's an image, maybe that's, I don't know, maybe that's just Tim saying hi. Let's just post a video of you just saying hi. Okay. So there we go. We'll just do like a quick 5-second video. There you go. So, but anyway, guys, if you guys want to do that, follow us on those. It's always good. Arcade Survival says, man, you guys have a lot of contacts. Hey, we want to be able to get if you are lacking contacting us, it's not for us trying. Yeah. Right, exactly. It's not our fault. You can contact us. That is the thing. So there you go. Let's see. Seahorses All Night says, I've been putting arcade repair tips flyers on cars at my arcade and at the Waffle House. We appreciate your hard work there, Seahorses All Night, and we hope that everybody is as motivated as you to get the word out about arcade repair tips. So,
and if you get any gift cards from the Waffle House or anything, please pass them on.
Absolutely, yes. We're always up for Waffle House gift cards.
That is like an official arcade repair tips when we travel. Absolutely. We always go to the Waffle House.
People love the Waffle House. It's 24 hours. You can stop anytime. Now, the problem is we do not have one around here.
I ate the Waffle House 2 weeks ago in Arkansas.
Yeah, I was about to say, but here in East Texas, the closest one is like Longview, which is about 45 minutes to an hour away.
A little far for us.
My kids like Denny's, so we go to Denny's quite a bit. Whenever it's Denny's. Yeah, I was about to say whenever it's me and the kids, if they want to go out to eat, it's probably gonna be Denny's. And to be honest with you guys, Denny's has better pancakes than IHOP. I said it. Yeah. So Denny's has better pancakes than IHOP. So, but now waffles can't beat the Waffle House. My kids have not been to the Waffle House.
Oh, so see, they don't know what they're
every
missing.
time I tell them they don't stop, and we just don't. So there we go.
It's better they don't know.
There you go. Okay, guys. Well, that does it for the regular show. We're about to move into the after show. So, and for those of you guys who may be new, if you stick around here for about 5 or 10 minutes, we're going to take a little break. Me and Tim are going to go to the restroom, do some other things, and then we'll be right back here at the after show. So if you just leave your browser right here where you are right now, you will, here in about 5 to 10 minutes, be in the after show. The difference between the regular live show and the after show is that any topic is valid. We don't just limit it to arcade topics. We talk about all sorts of stuff. Tim, what are we going to be talking about in this month's after show?
Well, we'll probably talk about some sports, including Olympics.
Yes,
we'll talk about some movies and shows that we've been watching. Who knows what we'll talk about? Maybe even world events or what have you. So maybe investment and talk.
I was gonna say you watched a movie that I've been wanting to see, and so I'm really interested.
I did watch it.
Song Sung Blue, right?
Yes.
So it's on Peacock.
I wanted to take my wife to the movies to see it, and for whatever reason, we just couldn't get to it. But I realized it's on Peacock.
It is.
So you don't have to pay if you are your subscriber. You don't have to go and buy it. Like I think it's for rent on Amazon, like $24 or something. So we were able to watch it, and I'll give my review.
There you go. So if you want to hear Tim's review of Song Sung Blue, you can do that. I watched a new season of Nobody Wants This, Tim, season 2.
Okay.
I got into that. I watched Wonder Man on Disney Plus, Tim, and I'll give you my review of that. And Tim, we are rewatching The Mandalorian with the kids and my wife in order to get ready for the Mandalorian and Grogu movie in May. So if you want to hear my re-review of The Mandalorian, you'll get to see that because I have now rewatched it and I remember all the stuff that that has happened up through season 2. That's where we are right now. So we'll be talking about those things in the after show. We hope that you stay tuned for that. But if this is your off ramp, we want to thank you guys for being here tonight. Wonderful job by the live chat with all of the bracketology and stuff. Round of applause to you. Current Photograph gets a big shout out for the $10 donation as well. Thank you so much for that, guys.
Thanks.
And we look forward to seeing you next month or seeing you in the after show, whichever you decide. But do remember here, when you're with Arcade Repair Tips, when you fix the game,
you play the game.
Take care, everybody. We'll see you in April, on April 1st for that live show, or we'll see you here in about 5 to 10 minutes for the after show then. Take care, guys. We'll see you soon.
Thank you for watching this episode of the Arcade Repair Tips live show. All of our past episodes are available on our website at arcaderepairtips.com or on our YouTube page. This show is intended for entertainment and educational purposes only. Please consult a professional before attempting to repair any coin-operated machines yourself. The preceding program is a Varcade Entertainment production.
And we're back. Sorry, I put the topics up there. Now you know what we're talking about. So there we go.
Right.
This is the after show for episode 109. Tim, man, I'll tell you what, this last month was crazy for me.
It was.
And this month's going to be crazy for me. And
It
probably
never
April,
ends.
it just never ends. It's just, I should just be used to chaos because chaos is what I'm in most of the time.
I think
so, you know,
me too.
But anyway, guys, we're glad you guys could stick around for the after show. If you have anything that you want to talk about, again, no topics off limits. We pretty much talk about anything here. So if you have something you'd like to talk about, let us know. Tim, how was your February? You had a good Valentine's Day? Took the wife out, or?
Yeah, we man, that was you were talking about a couple of weeks ago. I'll have to think. So it was right before we went out to dinner. I had her some flowers sent to work, and every teacher likes to get flowers at your work.
Yeah.
And then we just kind of spent some time together, and then the next week was Holly's first birthday. So we were really and it was at our house, so we were getting stuff ready and decorations, and we kind of went all out. It was kind of fun. We had so her first birthday was on the 19th. I think we celebrated, that was a Thursday, and we celebrated it on Saturday. So, yeah, it was good. But it's like same thing with you. Every week there's been, and I've been out of town, so the weeks I'm out of town, when I get home, I got stuff to catch up and do, and chores and things, and then I'm taking right back off again. But really looking forward to going to Connecticut, a place that actually has a spring. Yeah, they do have a normal spring. Well, they were in a blizzard a couple weeks ago, but I think hopefully that's over with and melted. I'll get to see what a real springtime and some cooler weather is like, and visit with some friends and people up there. So hopefully I'll have a good trip.
Good.
And what about yours? Busy always?
Yeah, so the 13th, we had tickets to SmackDown in Dallas.
Oh.
So we went to WWE SmackDown in Dallas
fun.
on February 13th. We spent the night at my sister-in-law's house. We woke up on Valentine's Day morning there, and then we came home that night. I got us some, we ordered some delivery food, and we ate that for dinner. So that was our dinner. So it was fine. And then, like I said, it's been busy. And March is even busier, I feel like. We got a lot of stuff going on. Tim, you got your taxes done yet?
Yeah, I have not. I did. One of my kids and one of theirs, they've already got theirs and got theirs back. I'm kind of excited this year because, I make a lot in overtime. To see how that works out in my favor, or at least not owe taxes this year, would be a great.
I'm with you there.
Great news.
Yes.
I'm not trying to get a big refund. I'm just trying to break even.
Agreed.
Or somewhat close to even.
Yes.
For the last couple of years, we paid in quite a bit.
Us too.
So kind of hoping that, not putting it off because I really want to get them done. Just I have not had a weekend here. Last time was Holly's birthday party. Then I went out of town. Now I'm going out of town again. So hopefully get back before the end of the month. I'll probably do them and just see where we're at. Who knows? Maybe I'll know by the next live show. We'll see.
Yeah, you see, like last year we owed a lot. And so we did make adjustments to, and they did do some things in our favor. They upped the child tax credit and some other things. So I'm hoping that maybe we'll be closer to even this year with the upping of the taxes and everything like that. It's really hard if you have more than one job. Obviously I don't get taxed on any of the, not that we have that much income, but any of the arcade repair tips income, so that I have to claim that as income that, has not been taxed, right? So it's not that much though. That's the good news. So, it's not that much. Let's see. Joe says HVAC season, and I'm still 12 years away from retirement. Yeah, you're 12. I'm way more than that.
Yeah, I'm about 12.
Yeah, I'd say Tim's about 12. So, Tim, I'd like to think that I'm 20 years away from retirement.
Yeah,
I'm trying to hit 65.
I don't know that. The way the economy is and stuff. I don't know that even if I had enough to live off of, I don't know if that's enough. I might take a part-time job or something, be for some extra income or just for some play money.
Can you tell me what your general target is? I don't want you to don't give me your number, but like, what are you targeting?
Like age-wise?
No, like money-wise. Money-wise, how much do you want to have in retirement? How about this? What do you want your monthly income to be in retirement? That's good.
Yeah, I think that. Well, one thing is that our goal would be to have the house paid off.
Absolutely.
So if the house is paid off, you don't need as much. But even our house note, just insurance and taxes, you're probably $700 or $800 a month.
Absolutely.
So you've got to
my insurance and my taxes are more than my loan.
Right.
I mean, is that everybody? Is
I
everybody in
think
that same
maybe
boat?
so.
I don't know. Like our loan, like the actual amount, interest plus our principal, interest plus principal is less for us than insurance and taxes.
So realistically, let's say it's 800. I've got to be about 4 times that to, with it paid off.
Yes.
Just to make my taxes. And you got groceries and other expenses. And that's not if we have a car note or anything. Now, fortunately, my wife, who's already retired, we know what hers is going to be.
Yeah.
Mine is going to be up in the air. If I will draw Social Security, but I have a pension if I work 10 years on my job. So that's one of my goals.
That's nice, yeah.
To get another $1,000 or something a month from them, plus Social Security. So if we could get, I would say that $5,000 a month.
I think that's
that would be
for couples.
That would be something. I mean, you're still only talking $60,000 a year, but if everything's paid for,
exactly,
that's the key. And so that's what we're.
So did you hear what Florida did with property taxes?
I did not.
They did away with individual property taxes.
Okay.
So if a family owns a property, no property taxes. Only if businesses or rental property. Those are the only people who pay property taxes now in Florida.
Nice.
Okay. How do you feel about that?
I mean, I hope that I get why we pay taxes. We have to pay taxes. You have to have.
Did you know that Texas, without a state income tax, did you know that Texas is one of the most highly taxed states?
I do know that.
Without an income tax.
I do know that.
Like just across the board, even though what I'm saying is even though we don't have a state income tax, we're still one of the most taxed states.
But we also go by and we have a lot of nice schools and stuff, and you see the places that aren't comparatively.
Yes.
Our money goes to good use in some ways. Not a lot as much waste as some like Minnesota or somewhere. I would be really upset if I lived up there in my school.
So I like what Florida did because here's the thing: individuals don't.
When you own a house, you shouldn't have to keep. I'm worried about how I'm going to pay my taxes after my house is paid for.
Absolutely.
I shouldn't have to worry about that.
Right.
Because I paid for them the day I got it, and I've been paying for them all these years. To me, when your house is paid for, you shouldn't keep having to pay taxes on something that's already paid for. Well, I don't buy a Coke at the store and pay for it and then come back the next day and pay a tax on it.
Right. Yeah, exactly. Well, and here's the thing. So basically what Florida said is that homestead exemption is not homestead exemption. Homestead exemption is homestead no pay tax.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying? So here in Texas, we get a homestead exemption that does help you with your taxes if it's your homestead. But basically, if it's your homestead in Florida, you pay no property tax. And that makes sense because rental property, you make income on.
Right.
Commercial property, you make income on.
Right.
Personal people who have a homestead ain't making money on it.
It'd be interesting to see how it works out. Because like I said, I know we got to pay taxes. We have to. But we pay a lot.
We have the highest sales tax in the country.
But if you give me more money, I'm going to turn around and buy more things.
That's true.
That raises the sale tax. Yeah. So I'm always been kind of a flat tax person anyway because to me it's a fair tax person because I believe if you say, well, we shouldn't cut the rich. Well, if they have more to spend, they're going to spend it.
Yep.
And if you don't have much, you don't pay much taxes because you're not spending much. But I think there's some middle ground, and we'll see how it works out. We had a lot of amendments on our
we did.
voting votes too, that which was not an official vote. They were just kind of getting your opinion on how you would feel about no taxes in Texas on income or once it's paid off. And I think I would.
I had a candidate come by my house.
Yeah.
Did you?
No.
Okay, I had a candidate come by my house.
Okay.
I won't say his name. Okay. He was looking for my vote, and he had a sheet, and it had 5 topics on it, and it's like, which one of these is most important to you? Because he wanted to know. He's kind of, not only was he getting his name out there, but he wanted to canvass his constituents and ask them which one of these is the most important.
Okay.
And you know what I said? Property taxes.
Yeah,
that was the number. He had that on his list. I'm like, that is the one, buddy.
Yeah.
That is the one you should focus on.
You can cure that or health insurance. Yep. I think are 2 big things.
For sure.
That if you could come up with a good plan for those, I think you could save a lot of headache.
Absolutely.
A lot of heartache.
Yeah. So, Tim, I'm with you there. I think retirement, like I said, I'm targeting 20 years. I'd like to be, retired in 20 years. Hopefully that'll help. I think it's tough. The economy, like you mentioned. But we've seen a lot of growth. You think about the amount of growth that we've seen over the last year, Tim. I think that's been pretty good. Obviously, we're having some struggles right now, and this war thing doesn't help. I will say,
right?
but we'll just see how things go. Tim, have you made any investments or anything? We'll kind of transition into that.
Well, my company itself.
Did you buy the Bitcoin? Because if you would have bought the Bitcoin,
we
you would have
talked
some
about
money.
it, didn't we?
Yeah.
We talked
So
about
last
it.
time I mentioned to Tim that Bitcoin had dropped to about 65.
Yeah.
65K.
Yeah.
And now it's up to like 72.
Yeah.
So if you would have invested last time,
That
you would have
been
made
a pretty good profit. Yeah.
Exactly. So you would have made a little coin. I'm just saying.
And I did not, because I told you it hadn't fallen far
You
enough
were
to hit
waiting
my
for
price
50.
point. Yeah, and I said once it hits that, I would have I'm not talking about a $100 investment. I wouldn't have bought 50,000, but maybe 5,000 I would have thrown in there. But it just didn't hit it for me. There'll be other opportunities. I did good. Remember a few months ago when I bought my home heating oil and stuff? Now I buy commodities. I buy corn and stuff that's low right now, but it will be up in the summer and stuff. So I'm still playing it safe. Oil stocks are doing pretty good. 401k is still doing pretty good overall. But you're right, the war, and I guess we could call it a war. It's not a conflict. I don't, and
there's been casualties already.
We won't go into the politics and stuff of it, because I know how we both probably feel and stuff. Am I sad that the Ayatollah is no longer with us? Probably not.
Right.
But at the same time, do I feel like we got to take necessary steps, and I don't want to just go bombing and taking out foreign leaders for just because. Right. Even a threat,
Exactly.
That's kind of not our style, but at the same time, our style hadn't worked very long either. It didn't do us very good. But, and we won't get into a lot of that tonight. Me and you can talk about that later. But I kind of at a slow start into the Olympics. It was like I forgot. I was like,
Same.
the Olympics.
Same.
And I would watch a few highlights, but then I kind of got into it. I got to really following a couple things. That hockey game was just
I watched.
Shame.
Yeah, as I
sorry
said.
If you're from Canada, not sorry.
Yeah.
I mean, that was a good game for the men. The women's was exciting too.
Mm-hmm.
Those were some great games. So some of the speed skating and stuff. I really did. You find yourself watching anything?
I did, but I just remembered something. I forgot to totally show this off during the regular show. Oh my goodness, this is why you watch the after show.
Oh,
check this out.
Okay,
it's an arcade cabinet. I got this for Christmas. I hadn't put it together. It's
a
Lego arcade set. But check out what's inside.
Oh, how cool!
So it's got. I'm going to show you guys. Mm-hmm. This is like when you open it up, you can see he's got like a little mini arcade in there.
Oh, how cool!
And there's a little guy in there, and he's got his video games. You see, like you got your computer over here. You got like a little. I don't know what this is up here. Some books on the bookshelf. Got some cartridges, video game systems up here.
So how long did this take you to build?
It wasn't too bad. I think I got it done in about 45 minutes or so.
Oh,
it's only 400 pieces, but it's pretty. It's advanced.
Yeah.
Like the building techniques are advanced. But yeah, so I mean, I thought it was pretty cool.
That's cool.
So I meant to show that off during the regular show. So if you guys have one of these, this is the Lego arcade set. It's very generic. It just has space on the top, Tim. Like it's not anything licensed, obviously, but it was fun to put together, and it's a cool little piece. I think I'm going to keep it around and,
nice.
kind of do it. But I just wanted to show that off. But on the Olympics, yeah, so I'm super excited for the hockey. I watched a little bit of both games. I watched a little bit of curling. I watched a little bit of downhill skiing. I watched a little ice skating, like just a little bit. That was about all I did. So did you watch anything else besides hockey?
Well, yeah, I did watch some curling because... I told you when we were in Germany, we actually saw people doing curling.
Yeah.
And I thought, this looks really... And what's fun is everybody looks at curling and goes, I could probably have done that at some point in my life. When I was a little younger or even my age, there's people that could do it.
There's a Dallas Curling Club.
And that, I think it's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I just think it's a fun... But I got into some of the little stories, even some of the skating and different things. But I enjoyed it. I thought it was pretty good, and honestly, I think the United States did relatively well, better for the winter games. It's normally not our stronghold. I like the woman that won the bobsled, I think, and that was
that was
some
amazing.
of those were really emotional and stuff. And even some other countries and stuff. I saw people when they
hang on, I gotta stop you right now. Russell Gibson just donated $20, Tim.
Wow.
Thank you so much, Russell, for
Russell.
that. He comes through a lot, Tim. We really do appreciate those kind of donations. That's amazing. You sent us a sticker that says, "You are amazing." No, sir, you are amazing. Thank you so much for your donation.
Thank you.
We're so glad that you appreciate our content, and we thank you so much for your support. Just awesome, man. That always makes my day, Tim, when I see that. Makes my day. You just made my day there.
Mm-hmm.
So good stuff there. Okay, continue with the Olympics, Tim. I just had to stop. Sorry.
So, it was, like I said, I just caught myself really enjoying even just the downhill skiing and snowboarding and whatever. I just liked the Olympics, and I liked a lot of, and even some of the other, did you see, like, there was a cross-country race, and they weren't very far, and the guy was like, no, we're going to do it the right way. We're not, come on. And they all kind of lined up, and they sprinted to the end. In other words, he was like, we're going to win. We're going to fight it out right here. So I saw some people, one guy had lost his pole, or a guy hit him and knocked his pole out, and he said, well, here, have mine. It was only fair, right? And so, I just saw some stuff, and
sportsmanship.
I just wish that, and this was all before this conflict and stuff like that. So I don't know. I was really enjoying watching that and stuff. So I watched the documentary on the Miracle documentary.
Yes, that was a good one. I watched
really good. And I never knew this, that before that game, nobody had ever chanted USA.
I know that.
USA.
Yeah.
So that's not like from the 50s and 60s. That happened during that hockey game or during that run. And that is, so I catch myself, listening. It could be underwater, basket weave, and polo. As long as we're competing, I think it's fun to watch. I enjoyed it.
Yeah,
I really did enjoy some of it.
I did. So they postponed the hockey season, Tim, but the Stars have picked up, and they are on fire.
Yes.
Oh my goodness! So it's so
I
good
want to go to a game so bad.
The funny thing is that the Finnish team was almost all Stars. In case you didn't know.
Right.
So they finished like bronze, I think, or like fourth. They were fourth place. They were good. Obviously Ottinger played for the USA, Tim, but he didn't get to play because the goalie for the US was like awesome. I forget that guy's name.
Wow.
Unbeatable.
Unbeatable.
So I mean, and Otter is good, right?
Yes.
Hasselbeck, right? Golly,
wow.
it's like, golly, that was just an amazing performance. So, I mean, I love Otter, Tim, but they had the right goalie in there. So, just good stuff. So, the Stars are on fire. So glad to see that. Glad the season's starting back up. The Mavericks suck, Tim. We're trying to get that. Number one draft pick.
Yeah.
Let's get that draft pick in. Going for that. Now, Tim, if you want some more country versus country action, the World Baseball Classic is starting.
Okay.
And the United States, their first game is going to be on Friday at 7 p.m. It's going to be versus Brazil.
Okay.
So if you want to watch some World Baseball Classic, it's going to be on Fox, Tim. You can watch at 7 o'clock. You can watch USA versus Brazil. And if you're into the country versus country stuff, the World Baseball Classic's fun. So hopefully you guys will watch. It's kind of like the World Cup for baseball. So there you go. Tim, UFL is going to start up pretty soon. And the Renegades have a new coach because Bob Stoops, stepped back. So you have Rick Neuheisel.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be the coach. Tim, he was an NFL assistant coach. He's been a college coach. He's had some experience.
I recognize the name.
We'll see how he does going forward there. Any other sports talk, Tim? You good?
I think we're good.
Okay, sounds good. Let's talk about movies and TV shows then, Tim. How about we teased Song Sung Blue?
Okay.
Okay, so
everybody knows what it's about, right? It's,
Reese Witherspoon and
it's
isn't it?
No, it's oh Lord, help me!
I have to look it up.
It's Goldie Hawn's daughter.
Oh, yes. Oh, I know who you're talking about.
I said Goldie Hawn's daughter. If you said her name, somebody help me. And Hugh Jackman, right?
Hugh Jackman and let's see. Kate Hudson.
Kate Hudson,
Hugh Jackman.
And great job by them. But I knew a little bit about the story.
Me too.
And I don't know if it was like, I think a little bit of it was made for TV. Like maybe it didn't quite happen that way.
Sure.
Just a warning, it is a little sad. But I've
heard it's a tearjerker.
Yeah, but it's so good, and I liked it. And I just, it's just kind of fun. It's just a good, fun movie to watch. I mean, other than it does have a sad ending in a way, but it also is a feel-good movie, too.
I'm a huge Hugh Jackman fan.
Yeah, he did a great job and played an amazing... he wasn't a Neil Diamond impersonator. That was not his goal.
Right.
He was an entertainer. Right. And he liked to entertain and sing and act like Elvis and stuff. He just liked that he could sing. Neil Diamond's were kind of in his key. And he kind of looks like Neil Diamond and sounds kind of like him. So he wasn't necessarily trying to nail Neil Diamond. He just was singing Neil Diamond songs that he thought, because he thought they were awesome and to put on a good show. That's all he wanted to do, put on a good show.
There you go.
And so he definitely does that. But like the lightning, you have to watch it. Remember, the lightning striking twice. That is a key phrase in that. Something crazy in that. It's a really weird twist at the end.
Okay.
And so, but it was very good, great acting, great singing, and it's funny because, when you think of Neil Diamond, all I think is every time I'm at karaoke, somebody's singing Sweet Caroline, and everybody sings it because everybody knows it, and bum, bum, bum. But there was a lot of other songs that he liked better, and he would try to sing them, and people were like, I don't know that song. And it was kind of his struggles, and then ultimately how popular they blew up. Mm-hmm. There was something in the movie I didn't know, and I just one little spoiler. They opened for Pearl Jam.
Oh, wow.
Opened
Golly.
for Pearl Jam. And because and he was like backstage asking him, like, why would you have us open for you guys? We don't even know your music and anything. And the guy goes, well, everybody loves Neil Diamond. He's like, and that was just kind of funny to think. And it was before Pearl Jam was really popular, but not far, like really close. And that brought them a lot of attention. So I just thought that was something I never knew. And anyway, watch the Pearl Jam part. That's a funny part. And a good movie. Like I said, get ready. Get the tissues out. Good chick flick with your wife.
There you go.
For that one.
Oh, Joe says, how did Tim know my sport was underwater basket weaving polo?
Well, if you're wearing the red, white, and blue, I'm going to cheer you on.
There you go.
And
you got that ESPN, right?
I do, yeah.
You see. Okay.
It's on ESPN 56, Deportes, right? But, it's kind of like did you see any of the Paralympics games? Some of that's kind of really cool.
Yeah,
and they don't show, you have to watch it on ESPN 3 or something. But even some of that was fun to watch. I just like the Olympics. I like the spirit. I like to watch the people and that really train and that are so good at what they do. And, it's just amazing how some of these people can be so good at it. Mm-hmm. I just appreciate the kind of dedication and stuff that it takes to do that. Absolutely. So watch Song Sung Blue.
Song Sung Blue on Peacock. Mm-hmm. Now, you told me you've been playing some Netflix games.
Yeah, so what we've been doing at night, our kind of routine was come home, watch a Netflix show till we both about sleep on the couch and get up and go to bed. We had this routine, and my daughter stays with us a couple nights a week. In fact, she'll be home tonight. And what we started doing was, I didn't realize, never played the games on Netflix before.
Yeah.
Now, we'll say this. We love a certain game, but every Netflix, I have it on my tablet. I have it on my phone. I have it on 2 or 3 TVs in the house. They're all different versions. They all have different games.
Interesting.
So I wanted to play the game we play in bed with my tablet. Now it's not on there.
Right.
But I found another game. We play it. So what happens is you log on. It gives you a QR code. You see it on the screen and you play on your phone.
Gotcha.
Like one we played was Pictionary.
Yeah.
And you draw little pictures with your finger on your phone. It shows it on the TV. And so it has turned into our version of family game night. We like to play games. And we even told my mother-in-law she loves to play games, board games especially. And she's very smart and very good. And she plays like Words with Friends and stuff like that. So we're like, you need to come over one night and play games with us. So it has really kind of brought, instead of just watching a show, and me and my wife are real competitive with each other. Sometimes she'll win, sometimes I'll win, and we'll even kind of kid each other, you ready to get spanked tonight, or we're going to do this or do that, And sometimes she can really beat me because she was an English teacher, before. Exactly. And so she's really good. And I have trouble just spelling words sometimes. But it's also good for your brain and stuff. And we like it. Yeah. We've enjoyed it.
Have you played more Best Guess Live, which is my favorite?
I have not played that.
I won $3.63.
No way.
Yeah, so that $3.63, I won something.
Wow, that's
So-
and you won a free month of Netflix.
Actually, it ended up being 2 free months because they gave you enough for like the ad-free version.
Wow.
So I actually got 2 free months of Netflix.
Wow.
So
even better.
Yeah. So yeah, you should be playing Best Guess Live.
Best Guess
You have
Live.
to have the app. It's not in the Netflix app. You have to have the Best Guess Live app.
Oh, okay.
So
yeah, ours we noticed it's changed. We have to download a Netflix controller app to use our phone as kind of a controller.
Right.
But it's easy. It takes 2 seconds, and we're up and playing. We've enjoyed it. We've had a good time, and my daughter comes, and when she's over, we all play. You can play up to 8 players on most games.
That's good.
And they have a lot of classic arcade games, too.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just play those when nobody's around.
Absolutely. So, sounds good, Tim. Well, you guys, if you have Netflix, it's just another way to take advantage of your subscription, right?
Yeah, don't forget to play the games on there.
Absolutely. So let's talk about Nobody Wants This Season 2. Tim, I'm at the finale. And it's worth it. It's good.
Okay.
So if you like the first season, you should watch the second. You should watch the second. And we're about to get to, after this, our next watch is, what's the one with Ted Danson? The Man on the Inside? Is that what it
Okay,
is?
I haven't seen that one.
Yeah, you haven't seen that one? Oh, that's really good. So he goes undercover, like this private investigator puts him undercover in the first season to find at a nursing home for a woman who had some jewelry stolen. And so he's an older man. She's looking for an older man to put in the nursing home to find this stolen
undercover.
jewelry. Yeah, undercover. So that's what he does. And so I don't know how season 2 is, but season 1's fantastic. Looking forward to season 2. But Nobody Wants This is worth your time. If you like the first season, you'll love the second season. Yeah. It's good. So go ahead and watch that. And then I watched Wonder Man on Disney Plus. So
yeah, I wanted to see
went to Walt Disney World, right? End of January. And when I was there, there's all the billboards for Wonder Man, and I keep reading all these reviews saying Wonder Man is so good. Mm-hmm. I don't get it. Not
great, huh?
I keep pushing through, and it's just not doing it for me.
Okay.
So I decided after 4 episodes I'd quit. There's 8 episodes. Like, I can't waste my time on this any longer. Maybe it's super fantastic at the end, Tim. I don't know. I won't find out. It was not worth the time. So, so if you watch Wonder Man and you watch it all the way to the end, and then you're like, Jonathan, man, the last 2 episodes are fantastic, because that's like how Severance is.
Right.
If it's like that, then let me know. But Tim, I just couldn't do it anymore. So Wonder Man gets a big thumbs down from me. I just couldn't get into it.
Let me ask you this, because I didn't put this down. Did you watch Beast Game Season 2?
Yes.
Okay, I did too.
And I finished it up. What did you think?
I wasn't surprised with the winner. A few twists and turns kind of at the end. I was surprised that, what's her name? The girl didn't get picked.
Yes, absolutely.
But she went home happy. So
she got money.
Without, I like Beast Games.
Yeah.
I think my son
It was not as good as Season 1.
Yeah.
Not as good as Season 1. Season 2 was
not quite as good. It definitely had its moments.
It did.
And some twists and turns
at the end. Tyler, I don't want to spoil anything.
Don't spoil it. Yeah.
I was about to say.
I was not surprised on the ending at all. And possibly, might not have been my pick if I just had to pick who I would like to win, but I wasn't against him either. I was like, there were some people who I didn't want to win that definitely didn't win.
Yes.
And they didn't get nothing. I was glad. I was like, you stay at home. Yeah.
It's worth your time for sure.
I thought it was cool.
Joe says, I play Monopoly, but with my wife and kids refuse to play with me because I can crush the competition. Depending on how old your kids are, I was trying to tell my brother, I was like, he was trying to get them to play Monopoly. I'm like, dude, you need to start on Monopoly Junior.
Yeah.
Okay, Monopoly Junior is way easier to play. So if your kids are like under the age of like 12, start with Monopoly Junior first, because it'll teach them all the rules, and then when you get to big Monopoly, they already understand.
Okay.
And the other thing you have to remember about Monopoly is that make sure after everybody goes around once, you wheel and deal. Right. People have properties. You can't forget that part. You need to watch that documentary on the professional Monopoly players, Tim, and the type of tournaments they have and the way they work. That's how they work. So otherwise, the games just last forever. So, okay. Let's see. The only other thing that I have is The Mandalorian. So we are rewatching. I'm rewatching it. The kids and the wife are watching it for the first time.
How are they into it? Are they into it? They like it? Your wife likes it?
Yes. Okay, and so we got to the season 2 finale.
Okay.
And when we did, I told them this is like maybe my favorite episode of anything. Like the season 2 finale. Do you remember what it is?
I do not remember.
Okay. So Grogu gets captured.
And
they had just been to the little Jedi relic place.
Yeah.
To like let Grogu broadcast out, and a certain Jedi that we know comes and saves him. Do you remember this?
I do not, because I have not seen it.
Okay,
I have not seen season 2.
You haven't seen season 2?
I've only seen season 1.
The finale for season 2 is fantastic. So that's where we are right now.
Okay.
It is so. And I told them up front. I was like, this may be my favorite episode of like anything ever.
Everything.
Like it is so good. And they agreed. They thought it was fantastic. We're about to move on to season 3, but Tim, if you remember, there was a season of the Book of Boba Fett that kind of happens between 2 and 3, and so we're gonna probably switch over because there's 2 or 3 episodes in the Book of Boba Fett that have to do with the Mandalorian.
Okay.
So we're probably gonna do that, but we're trying to get through all of them before the Mandalorian and Grogu. The movie comes out in May.
So we got to get through. Yeah.
You got it.
All right. I got some catching up to do myself. Maybe I'm out of town. I'll catch back up.
Let's say Disney Plus. They're all on there. Right now, Tim, there's a 3-month. You can do a 3-month subscription to Hulu and Disney Plus for $6 a month.
Wow.
So you got 3 months at $6 a month just to watch them.
Nice.
So if you want to sign up real quick, I can get you the link for that.
What do they say?
So that was that's what we're talking about there. Oh, he's talking about Monopoly, Tim. So we're good with that.
We play Monopoly. We play on the pinball game over there.
Yeah, I've got a Monopoly pinball machine. I'm a Monopoly fan. I like the game. So anyway, guys, I think that's it for us. Tim, you got anything else?
No, and I kind of need to get on tonight. I got some chores to do when I get there, so I would appreciate everybody being here, though.
Absolutely. It was fun. I'm sorry I didn't show my little Lego thing. I think maybe I'll do like a quick little review of it later, and like maybe we'll put it on the YouTube page because I do think it's really cool. It's only like I said, 400 parts.
So detailed.
Yeah, like on the inside there.
Crazy.
All the cool stuff is
I wasn't expecting all that.
Yeah, so it's worth I think it's $50 or something if you buy from Lego, $40 or $50.
Wow.
I got it as a gift, so I can take the coins you can put in there, and they come out the bottom.
Oh,
Like out of
cool.
the coin return, it's got a little coin return there. It's got like the little heat, monitor.
Yeah,
on the
it's got
back.
a little cutout.
Look on the back of the monitor.
Really put some effort and thought into that, didn't
Absolutely. So, I mean, it's very well done. The stickers are good, and
I love it.
Definitely worth your time if you want that. But anyway, okay, guys, have a good night. Thanks for being here. We'll see you on April 1st. It's April Fool's Day. Maybe we'll do something fun. I don't know. Maybe we'll do an episode of not Arcade Repair Tip. We'll flip-flop. We'll do the after show first, then we'll do the regular show.
We've already done what not to do.
Yeah, right? Exactly. We don't know what not to do. But anyway, guys, we'll see you on April 1st, 5:30 p.m. Central Times. Everybody take care until then. If you want to give Tim some love and his trip to Connecticut, like questions at arcaderepairtips.com, let us know. And otherwise, you can always contact us there till then, and we look forward to seeing you next time. Bye, guys.
Didn't hit it.
Okay.
Yeah.